Radio. It's 6 o'clock. I'm Simon Oxley. The headlines: carers say their own health is getting worse. 2 major fires in Milton Keynes and homeless shelter shut down in Bletchley.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Carers in Beds, Herts and Bucks say their own health has deteriorated since starting their role. In a survey conducted by national charity Carers UK, almost 80% of carers across the east of England said that caring has made their health worse. More from Sophie Solaria.
The survey shows that over 80% of carers in the east of England are more stressed than before they started caring, while 69% say they're anxious and 50% have experienced depression. The study also shows a high number find it difficult to get a good night's sleep, and many experience injuries and physical health problems. There are currently almost 600,000 carers in the east of England, with nearly 1 million more expected to become carers over the next 5 years.
Firefighters in Milton Keynes tackled 2 major incidents in the space of 7 hours last night. 30 firefighters were called to a fire in a 4th-floor flat in Wolverton just after 11:30. An investigation will take place today. That followed a major blaze at a building site in Oak Grove, which started just before 5 o'clock. 40 firefighters dealt with the burning 4-story timber frame of a new development of flats, which was destroyed. HSBC is planning to cut 8,000 jobs in the UK, with some branch closures. The bank is also reviewing whether to move its headquarters out of this country. A Hertfordshire police inspector says the force is eternally sorry that a man known for his domestic abuse could break his restraining order and murder his former girlfriend. Matthew Keogh was jailed for life yesterday for killing Sally Campion at her home in Bishop Stortford last summer. An internal police review is underway. Detective Inspector Graham Walsingham is from Herts Police.
It's a very difficult thing. Once people are out on a restraining order, it's very difficult to keep 24/7 tabs on anybody, and he has chosen to abuse that restraining order and not take any notice of the court's order, and he's gone and done what he's done, and for that we'll be eternally sorry.
A 5-year-old boy is in a life-threatening condition in hospital after a collision with a car in Milton Keynes. It happened in Monkston on Sunday afternoon. Britain's largest cancer charity has criticised plans by the Welsh Government to ban the use of e-cigarettes in enclosed public places. Cancer Research UK says there's no scientific basis for the ban, warning it could undermine attempts to help people give up tobacco. A homeless shelter in Bletchley has been shut down by Milton Keynes Council. St Mungo's housed vulnerable 16 to 21-year-olds. More from Barry Caffrey.
The shelter has been a home and a place of recovery for hundreds of homeless young people in Milton Keynes. But for years, residents have complained of antisocial behaviour problems, including fighting on streets and people shouting in the middle of the night. Milton Keynes Council say St Mungo's was closed because it didn't have the right planning consent, but it confirmed that complaints from residents about antisocial behaviour did play a part in the closure.
In sport, England's women begin their World Cup campaign this evening against France in Canada. The weather dry with sunny spells, a maximum temperature 16 degrees Celsius. And you can get the latest news and sport online at bbc.co.uk/3 counties.
Jeez! Oh, man! Morning, guys. Iain Lee, BBC Three Counties Radio. You two bothered to turn up, did you?
Yes, happy birthday!
Oh, no. We're not playing that game. We're not playing that game today. Who's been messing around in this flippin'... But all of us have been on our hands and knees this morning, cheeky, trying to sort out our studios. Yours looks like it's to cock. Mine's to cock. That is a phrase, isn't it? I think it's a phrase. I've been saying it a lot, and it's just dawned on me that maybe I've just... There we go. News, stories, potholes, statements from councils. That's pretty much local radio. Pretty much.
Across Beds, Herts and Bucks.
Oh no, on other local radio shows, the council goes on. Why? Because they kiss their bums. They kiss their bums. Great to have you back, Kelly.
Thanks, Mum.
Oh, Cajun? Yeah.
In the time of chimpanzees, I was a Bulls dog food stalls with the beefcake pantyhose. Kill the headlights and put it in neutral. Stock car flaming with the loser and the cruise control. Babies in Reno with the vitamin D. Got a couple of couches, sleep on the love seat. Someone came saying I'm insane to complain about a shotgun wedding and a stain on my shirt. Don't believe everything that you breathe. You get a parking violation and a maggot on your sleeve. So shave your face with some mace in the dark. Saving all your food stamps and burning down the trailer park. Yo, cut it. So I'm a loser, baby. So why don't you kill me? So I'm a loser, baby. So why don't you kill me? Forces of evil and a bozo nightmare. Ban all the music with a phony gas chamber. Cause one's got a weasel and other's got a flag. One's on the pole, shove the other in the bag. With the rerun shows and the cocaine nose job. The daytime crap of the folk singer slub. He hung himself with a guitar string. A slab of turkey neck and it's hanging from a pigeon wing. But get right if you can't relate. Trade the cash for the beat, for the body, for the hate. And my time is a piece of wax falling on a termite who's choking on the splinters. So I'm a loser, baby. So why don't you kill me? Get crazy with the cheese whiz. So I'm a loser, baby. So why don't you kill me? Drive-by body pierce. Yo, bring it on down.
I'm a driver, I'm a winner. Things are gonna change, I can feel it.
So I'm a loser, baby.
Right home.
So why don't you kill me? I can't believe
You must be joking.
I'm a loser, baby.
Disgusting.
So why don't you kill me? So I'm a loser, baby. So why don't you kill me?
Stetson.
Isn't YouTube difficult to navigate? I'm trying to. It don't matter. It's not really important to anything apart from me and my sad old life. Morning, guys. We'll speak to those monkeys in a minute, but it's great to have you back, Kels.
Thanks, Mum.
There we go. Now, you're more likely to see a decline in. You're more likely to see a decline in their own. Hang on a second. Is that the beginning? Have I got the? Have you done it wrong? Your own health is that supposed to be? What does it matter? Is that you that's muffed up? Well, unbelievable.
Soz.
Not me. You should be apologising to.
Sorry, listener.
Thank you very much indeed. You're more likely to see a decline in your own health if you have to look after a loved one. That seems to be the suggestion from a new survey from Carers UK, who found almost 80% of the 253 people they questioned in the east of England had developed their own problems after taking care of someone else. Well, Andrew Kay is from Independent Age, a charity representing the older people in our society. Morning, Andrew.
Good morning.
Does this kind of tally up with what you'd expect?
Unfortunately, when people do become a carer, all too often they can experience debt, financial hardship, stress, and even relationship breakdown without help and support. And what our survey with carers this shows the huge variation in the support received by carers in their local community. So this year we're calling on communities, services, GPs, whoever really, to make sure they're doing everything they can to reach out to carers, make sure they're adequately supported.
For those who haven't had to care for someone in an extended period, why is it so stressful? Why might it have an impact on their health?
Well, significant numbers of carers actually take on a caring role quite suddenly. Perhaps their loved one has had a stroke, Maybe someone's experienced a new disability quite quickly. And it can be a whole change to one's life. And there can be extra costs to caring, the regular medical appointments. And also, far too often, unfortunately, people find that they're no longer able to work, which can have a really significant impact on their income. So what we find is that actually when carers provide round-the-clock care, 50 or more hours, say, a week, that can actually find that they're in bad health twice as much as people who aren't carers. And of course, we need to make sure that these people are okay and that they're healthy, because of course carers actually save the nation about 119 billion a year, it's estimated, which is more than we spend on the NHS.
And there's also, I would imagine, a number of people that bizarrely don't realise they are actually carers.
Yes, far too often, people aren't necessarily aware of their rights, the fact that they can get support, they might be hidden. And carer-friendly communities would actually make sure through flexible GP appointments, through employers making sure they're providing adequate support to their employees who become carers, that carers do in fact get the help they need. But you're right, people will often say, look, I'm just doing what I need to as a husband or a wife, as a son or a daughter. They don't necessarily think of themselves as a carer. And we need to make sure that people do get that help.
Andrew, as well as going to speaking to you, Independent Age, where else could people get help and, kind of have things made a little bit easier for them?
Well, Carers Week is an annual awareness campaign which recognises the vital contribution made by the UK's 6.5 million unpaid carers. And in the east of England, as elsewhere, people can look at the Carers Week website. They can go on our Facebook and also on Twitter, follow the discussions taking place, share details of their own caring role, but crucially find out about events going on this week and where you can get information, advice and support for your own caring role.
Andrew, I appreciate your time. Andrew Kay from Independent Age. Here's the Stone Roses. Ever feel like you've been had?
Until sadly I was never happy. I needed so much more. Red clouds, oh, they used to chase me down. They were cold. Joy in my tears. Allay my fears. Sent to me from heaven, soundly cinnamon, you're my word. Up, 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 flow, flow, bubble, bubble. You taste the cherry, there is something, hey, you must show me. From what you are made, sugar and spice, and all things nice. Sent to me from heaven, sourly cinnamon, you're my word. You are my word. Your eyes are gazing back from every little piece of glass. You seem to smile from every place of cinnamon. You are my word. Then I put the letter back in the place where it was found, in the pocket of a jacket on the train in town. Sent to her from heaven, soundly cinnamon, you're her word.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
On the North Orbital Road in Bricket Wood at the M25 junction 21A roundabout, that's starting to look busy, but no problems have been reported on the M25 itself. In Amersham on Wealdon Lane, there's electricity works going on at New Road, so that could cause some delays later. And in High Wycombe, expect it to be busy later on the A40 London Road. It's been closed in both directions between Stewart Road and Marlow Hill for roadworks. The surrounding area in High Wycombe might be very busy. There's no reports of any problems on the trains. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Thanks, Sammy. 6:15. It's Tuesday. It's the 9th of June. I'm Iain Lee. These are your headlines. How's things going? All right? Nice. Carers in Beds, Hearts and Bugs say their own health has deteriorated since starting their role. Firefighters in Milton Keynes tackled two major incidents last night. A fire in a fourth floor flat. Hang on. A flyer in a fourth floor flat in Wolverton followed a major blaze at a building site in Oak Grove. And HSBC is planning to cut 8,000 jobs in the UK with some branch closures.
BBC Three Counties Radio. Nick Coffer on BBC Three Counties Radio.
The book is all about how you can use nature to make walking a detective game. There's no cost to spending 10 minutes looking at all this stuff. Three mums from Hertfordshire have got something a little bit different planned. This weekend they're walking the 100 kilometres.
We've done lots of training and we're aiming to complete it within 24 hours.
Nick Coffer.
Is that a maze in front of your house?
It's called a parterre.
Oh, it's a parterre, is it?
I planted it myself with 540 plants, so I know it's a parterre.
Award-winning Milton Keynes sports journalist Mike Calvin has written Gareth Thomas's autobiography.
I've got to think what you think, I've got to see what you see, I've got to hear what you hear, and that will be an inherently painful process.
Nick Coffer, weekdays from 12 on BBC Three Counties Radio.
Like a detective game. Ooh, it's like a detective game. I said now, ooh, it's like a detective game. You know the walking is like a detective game. Yes, boss. Haters gonna hate. Players, well, they're gonna play.
Mama's got a squeeze box she wears on her chest, but when Daddy comes home, he never gets no rest. 'Cause she's playing all night, and the music's alright. Mama's got a squeeze box, Daddy never sleeps at night. Well, the kids don't eat, and the dog can't sleep. There's no escape from the music in the whole damn street. 'Cause she's playing all night, and the music's alright. Mama's got a squeeze box, Daddy never sleeps at night. She goes in and out and in and out and in and out and in and out. She's playing all night, and the music's alright. Mama's got a squeeze box, Daddy never sleeps at night. She goes, squeeze me, come on and squeeze me, come on and tease me like you do. I'm so in love with you. Mama's got a squeeze box, Daddy never sleeps at night. It's so close to my I've got my cotton sack.
Some videos of me on.
The blood back away from this
Now, you may remember last year we brought you the story of St Mungo's, a homeless shelter in Milton Keynes that was causing residents problems but was allowed to remain open. We talked about it a few times, I seem to remember. Well, it's now been shut down by Milton Keynes Council. That's to the relief of people living nearby. The main problem was... Well, let's speak to someone who lived near there. Now, let me just check one thing. I'm assuming we're going with this, are we?
Yes.
We're going with the pseudonym?
Yes.
Thank you very much indeed. Let's go to Mary. Now, Mary, not your real name. Morning, Mary.
Morning.
You live nearby what was St Mungo's. What were the problems?
Well, there was various problems. The residents, they'd often come in late at night, banging on the door because they weren't being allowed let in. There was fights. They would swear at residents. And there was vandalisation that happened to property and cars, noise, and just constant police presence. It was just living on a nightmare, really.
And how long did this go on for? This has been going on for a while, has it?
Yeah, I've lived here 18 years, and there's always been something that from a children's home. Each time they shut it down, something else comes. They say it's going to be better, but it actually turns into a worse nightmare than what it originally was.
Was there one point, Mary, was there one incident where you thought, you know what, this is just outrageous, I can't take this anymore?
Yeah, I think when we had, 3 nights in a row at 1 o'clock in the morning, when you were getting woke up by people shouting and fighting.
Oh, dear. You've got 2 children, is that right?
Yeah, two children.
How did it affect them?
It affected my daughter most. Because she would say, "Mum, don't look at them. Mum, they're starting again. They're arguing again. The police are there again." She became quite nervous about the whole situation.
The hostel's closed now.
Yeah.
What would you like to see happen? Have you got any idea what's going to happen now to the building?
We've not been told anything. The council, the main council didn't tell us it was actually closing, and we were told by the local council, which was really great. But I've spoken to them, and they've actually not got any idea about what's going to happen. To me, it'd be nice to be knocked down completely and made into something that's going to benefit the community, maybe something for the elderly. Something quiet.
Well, yeah, something quiet. There might be those, Mary, that would argue that a homeless shelter is a benefit to the community. What would you say to them?
Well, I would say that it is in the wrong setting. They need to do it where it is going to benefit the community, and it obviously is not working in this estate. And they've got a duty of care. I appreciate that, but they've also got a duty of care to us as residents, and they've let us down for many years.
It's a fine balance, isn't it?
Yes.
Because obviously, that they do have a duty of care to you, but then there are some poor souls who, for whatever reason, find themselves just needing a little bit of a hand, and that's been ruined by, well, some idiots within that community.
Yeah, definitely. It's absolutely been an absolute nightmare. I can't tell you. And to actually, now it's shut, to wake up and think, God, I've slept the whole night. It's just a relief.
I remember those nights, Mary, blimey.
Yeah.
Listen, I appreciate your time this morning. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. That's Mary there. Let's just break that up professionally by just putting a little jingle in. 1 second, please, if you will. No, hang on, let's see. No, that's not it, hang on. That'll do. Wasn't what I was hoping for.
No, but it's true words of wisdom.
Scotland says no! Scotland says no! Hey, Catherine, it's so nice to see you. You weren't here yesterday. You were at a proper radio station.
I was in London.
That there, London.
Where apparently it's okay for a grown man to ride a scooter.
Oh, God, doesn't it make you puke? I mean, these idiots.
I was the only one who did a face. Everyone else was like, yeah, this is what happens in London.
By the way, we're down the rabbit hole now. Oh, we got a game! We didn't play this yesterday. Kels!
Hello.
Catherine?
Yeah.
Who's up for a game that we didn't play yesterday?
Yeah.
Thought I haven't got an advantage. I've literally just thought of it. Lock poker.
Oh.
Who's up for a game of lock poker?
Yep.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Go on.
Okay. I start. Kels can go second. Because you can go third, and it goes round, and we each have to come up with a different type of lock.
Okay.
And then when you run out of locks, you're out. Last man standing. Padlock.
Oh, that was going to be my one. Door lock.
Right. Okay. I'll give you that.
Canal lock.
Yeah.
Oh.
Scottish lock, like in Loch Ness Monster. Yeah, it's a good game, isn't it?
I got one.
Oh, Matthew Lockwood. Does that count?
Yeah, that counts.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Headlock.
Oh, that's a good one. She's good, isn't she?
Hemlock.
Oh.
You sorry?
That was going to be my next one.
Yeah. You know what hemlock is, yeah?
Yeah, sure.
Great. Good. Okay. Good. You'll go. Lock poker. You're listening to Lock Poker. And don't forget, in the Sun, all this week, it's Bikini Week. It really is. It really is. Kelly, over to you. Would you like a little bit of thinking time?
Yes, please.
Okay. It's a good game, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really good.
Really good game. Lock Poker.
I don't know how we're going to ever play it again.
Well, no, you can only play this game once, and this is literally the first time I've ever played it.
I've got one.
Hang on. Go.
Goldilocks.
Oh! Oh, yeah. Go, Kelly. Go, Kelly. Go, Kelly. It's a good game.
I'm going to need the thinking music.
Oh, okay, well. I've never seen Kelly think so much. Look. I think that's Kelly's poo face. Oh. We're stopping the clock.
A locket.
Huh? Yeah, okay, yeah.
Wait. What type of locket?
One of them necklace ones.
Okay.
What other types of locket are there?
I'll tell you on my go.
Oh, she's clever. She's good, isn't she?
Yeah.
She's learnt from us.
Or is she? Let's wait till
our
they go.
little girls. I'm so proud of her. She's learnt our devious ways.
Your turn, Ian.
Okay. I've
got another one.
Well, I'm in China. In the 60s.
Oh, no.
What, you saying I can't have lock and roll? You saying I can't have that?
You can't have that.
Oh, Harrow?
What?
2:30.
No.
Okay.
Rubbery. No.
Thank you very much. Oh! Go, Ricky! Go, Ricky! Go, Ricky! So, my pub, you're all invited to a lovely lock-in.
Beautiful.
Yes, we have you. Oh, look at Kelly pretending she's taking a phone call.
It's all right, I put them on hold just to say lockets.
Oh,
Which kind of lockets?
Throats, sweets.
Throats are wheats. She said throats are wheats. Isn't this more fun than it should be? I hope you're having as much fun at home as
Here
we're
we go.
having. Yeah.
My favourite office prank.
Yeah.
Caps lock.
Oh, she played dirty. Okay, I need to have a little bit of thinking music now. Hang on a second. What did we say yesterday when we played this? What? Nothing. She's music. What did I say yesterday?
But you didn't get this far with them.
No, didn't at all. That's plums. Rastafari with me dreadlock. Hey! Thanks, Chrissy. Shh.
Oh.
Kels, your turn. Oh, we can take a little breakette for...
No.
No, we can't because line
not
6 is
in.
not lit up. Okay.
Numlock.
You mean numeric?
Sure.
I like... Kelly, you're really bright on up my day.
I need the music.
I tell you what we can have. We can have a little travel break. Good game, huh?
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
On the M25, it's getting busier anti-clockwise now between junction 19 for Watford and 18 for Chorleywood. And on the North Orbital Road, it's slow between the A414 around the Park Street roundabout. In High Wycombe, London Road is closed in both directions between Stewart Road and Marlow Hill. That's for roadworks and resurfacing work, so expect extra traffic in and around High Wycombe. And in Bishop Stortford, on the Bishop Stortford bypass, there's temporary traffic lights between the M11 junction 8 for the Birchanger services and Stansted Road, so that could also cause some delays. But no reports of any problems on the train so far. Samantha Brough, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Across beds, hearts and bugs.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
It's 6:30. I'm Simon Oxley. Carers in Beds, Herts and Bucks say their own health has deteriorated since starting their role. Firefighters in Milton Keynes tackled two major incidents last night. A fire in a fourth-floor flat in Wolverton followed a major blaze at a building site in Oak Grove. HSBC is planning to cut 8,000 jobs in the UK with some branch closures. And a homeless shelter in Bletchley has been shut down by Milton Keynes Council. St Mungo's housed vulnerable 16 to 21-year-olds.
Three Counties Sports.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
England begin their Women's World Cup campaign this evening against France in Canada. France, ranked third in the world, are one of the favourites for the tournament. Aylesbury's Ellen White could feature for England. Captain Steph Houghton believes her side can go all the way.
We can't come to a tournament and not believe, and I think we know that we've prepared fully. We know that we've worked hard. We know that we believe and trust in the game plan that the manager's given us, and I think if we stay together, and there's no doubt that we've got some players that have got world-class ability, and it's all about performance. So as a captain of this side, and I fully believe that we have the players to potentially go all the way.
The new Stevenage assistant manager Kevin Watson says they will try and play a different style of football next season. Watson will work alongside new boss Teddy Sheringham when the squad return to training.
Hopefully we can take the club a little bit further forward than where they've been. I mean, they've had terrific times under Graham Wesley. I think that we're gonna try and play a little bit of a different way to what Graham did, and that's no disrespect to him because he had a very successful time at the club. But we want to move it forward and we want to be successful, and I think we can be.
England's cricketers start their 5-match one-day series against New Zealand at Edgbaston today. Here's Pat Murphy.
New Zealand the favourites for the first time in the one-day series over here, and deservedly so. Their vibrant displays in the World Cup forced England to realise how far behind they were in terms of approach and tactics. And Owen Morgan, the captain, admits taking a leaf out of the Kiwis' book. He's got the 14 players he wanted for this series, many of them very inexperienced at this level, and promises the public that at least his team will entertain. Well, that would be progress at least after losing 7 of the last 8 one-day series and a dreadful World Cup.
BBC Three Counties News and Sport. The next full bulletin is at 7.
Call 08459 455 555.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Hi guys, we're playing Lock Poker, where you have to name as many different locks as you can. Kelly, you had the last go. Just remind us what you ended on. You don't remember, do you?
Yeah, numlock.
She means numeric.
I would have said number lock.
I think it's numeric.
Don't matter.
Well, I mean,
the same thing.
it's just says numlock on my
Num
keyboard right
birdie
here.
num nums. Okay, Catherine, it's your turn. You were struggling before, but
And
you
then
think you've
Sammy
got one.
Brough inspired me.
Here we go.
Total gridlock.
Oh, yeah! Well, the thing is, guys, I hate to break it to you, but there's an incident at a non-specific airport. There isn't really, guys, but there is for the purpose of this lock. We believe that there are some very naughty people running around with things they shouldn't have, and so we're having to basically shut all the doors. This airport is under lockdown. Boom!
He pushed the plunger.
Oh gosh, I didn't. Honestly, and there are literally no plungers at any of the local airports. I don't think. I mean, you just can't tell these days. Kelly Betts.
So playing rugby.
Oh, she's been Googling.
No.
You don't know.
She
rugby.
wouldn't go. I trust this girl. She brightens up my day.
I sit next to this girl every day. I know how she works.
There's different positions,
Oh, wouldn't there?
including locks. It's true.
Is that actually a position?
Yes.
All right, fair play. I'm going to give her one.
Okay.
When?
It's my birthday. I'll decide.
Okay. So we're going into space with the last humans alive.
Oh God, it's terrifying.
Before we go, we need to decompress. We go through the airlock.
Oh!
You like that?
Yeah, I do like that, and I just don't know how I'm going to beat that. Oh yeah, I do. With this one, it's the 1970s. It's the 1970s. I'm a young man. Never had a girlfriend, but I've got feelings. Of course I have. It's biology. You can't argue with that stuff. So what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to have to think of someone. Who? Oh, only 70s pin-up Heather Locklear. Boom! Boom!
She was 80s, if not 90s.
I don't really know who she is.
Yeah.
I don't really know who she is.
She was married to Richie Zambora.
Oh, Richie Zambora.
I've got Ian's phone.
Yeah.
I'm trying to hack into it.
Oh.
Of course you are.
Can't. Phone lock.
Oh!
Oh, come on, that counts.
It's more of a password lock, no?
Password lock.
Phone lock?
Yeah, it's your phone's locked.
I've never heard the word phone lock before. Hang on a second. Shags!
Yeah.
Shags!
Yeah.
Shags!
Yeah.
Shags!
Yeah.
Shags!
Yeah.
Shags!
Yeah.
Shags!
Huh?
Would you allow phone lock?
Yeah.
Fair play, it's
he's
in.
too nice.
It's in. The walking
Okay.
internet says yes.
Right.
Yeah, we'll have a coffee, Shags.
Yeah.
Is it my go now?
Yes, mate.
Right.
We didn't play this yesterday, did we?
No, totally not.
It's the 80s.
Yeah.
One of the main crimes for bored teenagers. A little bit of joyriding.
Yeah.
How'd you prevent that happening for your Ford Fiesta?
We didn't have this one yesterday, did we?
Didn't. No.
Crook lock.
We couldn't have it yesterday, so we didn't play it.
Crook lock.
Crook lock. Crook lock. Okay, well...
Crook lock.
The thing is, right, I can't afford a crook lock. I'm on the dole.
I'll buy you one.
No, I don't want you to buy me one. I'm on the dole. I can't afford a crook lock. I'm on the dole. I can afford my tabs.
What are you doing?
And I can afford me squarial. I can afford my tabs and I can afford my squarial. I can't afford a crook lock, but I've got a car. But it doesn't matter because my car has got an automatic steering lock on it.
You're starting to sound a lot like my uncle.
I know. I've got a steering lock.
Sort of another one.
This is so much fun. Isn't this the best game ever? We're playing lock poker. If you want to, by the way, guys, 08459 455 555. If you want to jump in,
Don't tweet him because he's cheating.
No, don't tweet. Well, if you want to jump in and play a joker for someone, so maybe you want to help Kelly Betts out, you've got one. Maybe you want to help Catherine Boyle out. Maybe you want to help me out. Hi, I'm Iain Lee. I'm the governor. You can phone up 08459 455 555. You nominate a player and you do their go for them. That's how we're making this interactive.
I've broken down on the side of the road.
Oh, mate, I'm sorry to hear that.
I know. My tyre's blown out.
Oh, no.
So I'm going to try and change it.
A blowout on the motorway.
Lock-in wheel nut.
Sorry?
Lock-in wheel nut.
Don't swear. Lock-in wheel nut. Yeah, I'll give her that. I'll give her that one. Pressure's on you now, Kath.
I need the music.
Someone's calling in, so they might be about to nominate you. Let's see. Who are they going to nominate? They can nominate any player they want. They are. This is the BBC. You wouldn't get this on Coventry and Warwickshire. Here we go.
Oh, yes!
Okay, go. Okay, wouldn't it be funny if we got the same one at the same time?
Right. Okay.
Okay then, boss.
You've been having a really good time over the weekend.
I
A
have.
really good time.
Having it large.
You've been meeting some old friends. You've had a little bit of a chat. You've
Yeah.
had a lot of a chat.
Yeah.
You've had so much chat that now you have... lockjaw.
Oh, yeah, that's delicious. I want to just rub that one all over me. That is so delicious. I want to see Kelly's talking. Kelly, have you got someone who wants to play?
Ray wants to help me out.
Okay, is Ray on the line?
No, he doesn't want to come on.
Oh, Ray!
He just wants to help you out. I don't think that's an offer for the game.
Raymondo.
I'm not sure what he is saying exists.
Okay, well, it's my go.
Okay. Do you want what he's saying?
No, because I've got one, mate.
All right.
Oh, no, well, no, I've got one.
If you choose to play Ray's suggestion and it's wrong,
Yeah.
you're out.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's...
Just a warning.
I'm not going to play it.
So, I know these guys. They live in the woods. And just, they went out. There's a family, a mummy and a daddy and a little baby.
Are they bears?
Yeah, they're bears.
Have I already said this one, mate?
Yeah.
Oh, no! Rewind!
Anyway, another story.
Let me think about it. That really balls things up. Hang on. Let me just think about it. Hang on.
Alcohol, my permanent accessory. Alcohol, a party time necessity. Alcohol, alternative to feeling like yourself. Oh, alcohol, I still bring to your health.
I got one!
Forget the cafe lattes, is picking up the bill. I love you more than I did the week before. I discovered alcohol. Oh, alcohol. Would you please forgive me for while I cannot love myself? I'll use something else. I thought that alcohol was just for those with nothing else to do. I thought that drinking just to get drunk was a waste of precious booze. But now I know that there's a time and there's a place where I can choose to walk the fine line between self-control and self-abuse.
Get ready, guys. Here comes 08459 455 555. You can nominate a player and play for them. We're playing Lock Poker. What was the last one you gave us, Catherine?
I don't know, because you started doing one.
No, the one before that you. I'm just building up the. I'm ramping it up. You don't remember? That's fine. Hang on.
Oh, yeah, Lockjaw.
Sorry?
Lockjaw.
Okay. Oh yeah, baby. So.
Oh.
Trauma noise. Thank you. So. My turn. My go. It's tricky. It's tough. It really is a hard case to crack. But the answer is elementary, dear Watson.
Oh, no, you can't.
Sherlock Holmes. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Simon's on the line. Morning, Simon.
Morning.
Would you like to nominate a player?
I would, yes.
Who would you like to
Kelly.
nominate? You're nominating Kelly. It's Kelly's turn now. Kelly, Simon is nominating you.
Stop, player.
Now you have to, without knowing what he's going to say whether you're going to play his suggestion or go alone.
Yeah, are you going to play Simon or are you going to play with yourself? So childish. I'm really sorry.
Simon, have you been listening to the whole entire thing?
Not the whole entire thing, but I doubt very much that this one has been said because it would probably be a bit too technical.
Oh, he's a boffin! We've got scientists listening to us. My mum will be so proud.
Do you know what? I'm going to go. Play it, Simon. Play it.
Okay then, matchlock.
Sweet. We haven't had that, have we?
Well, yeah, but what does it mean, Simon?
Matchlock is a firing mechanism for a musket.
He's right.
Beautiful.
Which stopped you using the taper to light it.
Ever shot a man, Simon?
Yeah.
Wow, that escalated, didn't it?
Dark turn, didn't it? We won't go any further, Simon. But Simon is calling us whilst on the run. Excellent stuff. You're through, Kelly. Well done.
Thank you.
Yvonne?
Yes?
Who would you like to nominate?
Catherine.
Oh, Catherine. Well, you know the rules. Are you going to, without hearing it, are you going to go with Yvonne or are you going to play with yourself?
Can I ask the question? Yvonne, have you heard the whole thing?
Most of it, yeah.
How confident are you feeling?
Fairly confident.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to trust Yvonne.
Here we go, Yvonne. What's your lock in Lock Poker? Lock Poker?
Well, we're going down the motorway and all of a sudden you come to a gridlock.
Oh,
Yvonne! You obviously weren't listening to all of it. I'm afraid Catherine Boyle is out, Yvonne.
Oh, no!
Thanks for playing. I like the way you told the story, and I like the way you got Catherine out. Boyle, you all right, mate? You all right, Boyles?
I always knew if you're listening, what would do it?
She's out of the game. Graham's on the line. Morning, Graham.
Morning.
Well, who would you like to nominate?
Whose show is it?
All right, it's mine or Kelly. I've got one, so you can either do one for me or one for Kelly. Right, okay, mine is one of my favourite of the gangster Brit flicks. Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking... Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. Lock, Stock, directed by Shane Ritchie.
Graham?
Yeah?
Have you been listening since 6:30?
This question means nothing because they always say they have.
What, you have?
Yeah, I have. I'm very confident in this one, Cal.
Where do you live?
I don't.
Where do you live?
Where do I live? Northampton.
I don't know now.
The phones have gone mental for Lock Poker.
Do you know what? I'm going to go with it. Yeah,
Go on,
Graham.
You're in the garage and you've gone to the lock-up.
Nice.
What?
The lock-up. The garage.
The lock-up?
The lock-up, yeah.
The garage is the lock-up.
What does that mean?
It's where you store your hooky gear.
Oh,
and
all
you stay in
right.
it.
So have you got any stolen videos, Graham?
I've got loads.
Ever shot a man?
Twice.
Oh. This is really taking a very time. The phones have gone mental for this nonsense. It's just me and Kelly in the game at the moment. I'm
Can
afraid.
I come back in?
I'll make up a rule where we can resurrect you after this.
Travel news for beds, cards, and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
On the M25 anti-clockwise, a lane's been closed between junction 25 for Enfield and 24 for Potters Bar because of vans broken down. And also it's looking busy anti-clockwise from junction 19 for Watford to 18 for Chorleywood, and it's slow on the North Orbital Road at the Park Street roundabout. In Milton Keynes on Standing Way, there's roadworks at the Kingston roundabout, which is starting to look a little bit slow. And on the train departure boards, the 6:54 service from Luton to Beckenham Junction is delayed. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Thank you, Sally. We've had more phone calls this morning in the first 45 minutes of the show than we've had in the last month.
And why?
Because we're playing Lock Poker. How did you describe it just then? It's just saying the word lock.
If you can say the word lock, call me now. 08459 455 555.
By the way, you get one chance to reanimate Catherine. This is how this works. Catherine is out of the game. She was let down badly by Yvonne. If you want to bring Catherine back in the game, you can, but you have to use a word that's not been used before, okay?
That involves lock.
It involves lock, obviously. It's the news, isn't it?
Like locker room.
What? That's been used, isn't it?
No.
Well, don't just throw one in the mix, because
I'm hoping someone will hear that and ring up.
It's the weather.
Beds, Herts and Bucks weather.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Bad day today. We have got quite a breeze though. It's a northeasterly, so it's feeling a touch cooler. Most places waking up to quite a sunny start, but there's the odd place here and there that has quite a lot of cloud around, which means we could get one or two spots of rain, but it's not going to last all day. That cloud is going to thin and break. I'm just looking at it actually. It falls a bit of a line if you're making your way down from Cambridge right the way down to High Wycombe. Anywhere to the south and west of that is cloudy. Anywhere to the north and east or north and west rather is sunny. So it's a bit of a story of two halves this morning, but like I said, it is going to thin and break. We'll get some sunny spells this afternoon. Maximum temperature up to 16 Celsius. It is going to be cooler in the breeze. Now it's going to stay breezy overnight. Temperatures dropping down to around 7 or 8 in most places. Could actually get a bit cooler if you're in a sheltered spot away from the breeze. The minimum, like I said, 7 or 8 Celsius. For tomorrow, we've got some sunshine, more sunshine than today, perhaps feeling a touch warmer as the wind eases off slightly tomorrow. Maximum temperature for Wednesday, 17 Celsius, 63 degrees in Fahrenheit. And that's your forecast.
Call 08459 455 555.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
This really is a phenomenon. The phones have gone mental. Shaggy's had to come down to help out on the phones. Both of them. This is busier than JVS doing a phone in about dogs. I can't believe it. The phones have gone playing Lock Poker. Basically, you have to say a word that's got lock in, I think, but one that can't be done before. Now, Catherine, you're out of the game.
Yeah.
By the way, we're getting some celebrities phoning in that want to play.
Dignitaries, if you will.
Dignitaries. We'll come to those in a minute. If you're on the line, wait. Whose go was it?
Not mine, because
Right,
I
hang
got
on.
done over
Is
by
it your go,
Yvonne.
Kelly?
No, Graham helped me out, didn't he?
Okay, right. So it's Catherine. Catherine is out, but we can reanimate her. Now we've got two people that want to help. We've got Steve. Good morning, Steve.
Hello.
And we've got Kate.
Morning.
Now, Catherine, you can only pick. I'm making this up off the hoof. I don't know if you know. You can only pick one of either Steve or Kate to help you. If their word that they give us is invalid, i.e. it's been used before or it's made up, then you are actually dead. You'd have to take off a piece of clothing.
Can we pitch for her to choose?
Yeah. Oh, please do. Kate, and you pitch first.
I have got a quadruple whammy for you. It will bring you back in the game with a bang.
Oh, you're tickling my fancy, Kate.
She is. I can see her fancy and it's been tickled.
Steve, what have you got to offer me?
Just trust a man to get the job done, Kath.
Oh, I like
Well,
that
that's-
kind. You know that sexism always works really well with me.
That's going to go down well, Steve. Catherine, who are you going to choose, Steve or Kate?
Of course, I'm going to go for the quadruple offering from Kate.
Okay, Steve, stay there because we might still use your services.
Don't let me down, Kate.
Kate, what have you got?
Well, being a horsey girl myself, I used to have horses. Of course, the obvious choice was saw lock.
I'm back in the game.
Catherine is back. Kate, excellent work indeed. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
The forelock. Steve.
Yes.
Now, I'm tempted to
let a man do the job.
I'm tempted to let a man do the job.
Go for it.
Steve, I'm going with you. What you got for us, fella?
Hose lock. The little thing that connects your hose pipe to
The
your
little
tap.
thing that connects your hose pipe to the tap. It is a hose lock, hose lock. He's right, Stephen. Thank you very much indeed. Stephen with hose lock.
Beautiful.
We've got a celebrity coming up for the next time around who wants... let's bring him into the game. Ladies and gentlemen, it's local councillor. It's Tom Shaw. Good morning, Tom.
Morning, Ian.
Tom, have you not got anything better to do, mate?
On my way to work, mate. On my way to work.
Now, it's me you want to help, is it?
Yeah, why not?
Oh.
No, it wasn't. It was me.
No.
But I'll let you have him.
No, right. Who do you want to play? It's Kelly's turn now, Tom Shaw. Who would you like to play with?
Kelly, she's the best looking of all.
Isn't she just? Isn't she just?
She is, fair play.
She is hot. Okay, Kelly, it's Tom Shaw. He's a local councillor. He's a firebrand. He's a little bit feisty. He's always honest and direct when he chooses to come on. Now, are you going to go with Tom Shaw or are you not?
I've got my own one.
Oh, Tom! All right, Tom. Tom, stay on the line because someone will play with you. I promise. Kelly, what's yours?
Clock.
Oh, no.
No.
I mean, scroll lock.
Well, we've got to accept your first answer.
You're out of the game.
Oh, come on, clock's funny.
Clock is... clock doesn't go... Right, you're out of the game, but I'm going to allow Tom Shaw, local dignitary, and...
if he chooses to, after your ungrateful attitude, frankly.
Tom, would you like to reanimate Kelly Betts?
You can't see, but I just winked at you.
Okay, he's saying yes. Tom, what lock would you like to throw down on the lock poker table to help bring Kelly back in the game?
Lockerbie.
Oh, controversial.
You had to mention Lockerbie.
It's valid. We're all a little bit speechless, but of course Lockerbie is a beautiful, beautiful place.
Absolutely.
A beautiful place, tainted by tragedy, but let's not forget that it's a wonderful place. Tom, what's on the council table today, Tom? What are you sorting out?
Housing.
Good luck. Tom, you're a good sport. Thank you for calling in. Tom Shaw, thank you very much indeed. Lockerbie, I like it. Wow, look at that. Look at the council on your side. Is that a little bit of... I don't know if we're allowed to... Do we have to declare that as the BBC?
Yeah, that was Tom Shaw from the council.
Lovely. Catherine, your turn.
Right. Here we go.
Here we go.
Deadlock.
We've had that.
No, you haven't.
We've had that.
No, you haven't.
Have we had that?
No,
I
you
don't
haven't.
know. I don't
All right,
think so.
well, I tell you what, while we decide whether we've had that or not...
Do you want me to tell you the story about Deadlock?
Well, yeah, sure. But while you're telling me the story, I'm just going to go and put my hat and scarf in my locker. Oh, a scarf in summertime!
While you do that, I'm just going to get a lock of your hair and add it to my collection.
No, you've already done lock.
We've done Goldilocks.
Goldilocks is different from lock of hair.
Oh,
Goldilocks is completely different. Let's go to the arbiter. It's the human Wikipedia.
Yeah, it's different.
There we go.
He's too nice.
No, he's not.
You'd all be out. as far as I'm concerned.
all right, Redhead.
So would I.
Okay, it's your turn, Catherine.
All right, here we go.
Here we go, guys. All right, eyes down for a full house.
Picture the scene, right?
The scene is being pictured, boss.
For some reason, we've decided the most excellent way of team building is for us all to get boiler suits on and go down into the Crystal Maze. We're in the Aztec zone. I've managed to get across 1, 2, 3, 4 large panpipes.
Yeah.
On the 5th, I overcompensate for the gap because I've got short legs. And I'm in the water. You know what that is, my friend?
Yeah.
It's an automatic lock-in.
Hey! Well, we've had lock-in.
No, automatic lock-in.
I don't have a story for this.
Make one
This
up.
is getting hard. Can someone help me out? 08459
not said that for a long time.
555.
I don't know what this is.
Okay, we'll make a story up about not knowing what it is.
I think it's part of horse. I think when I become vet, I go to part of horse. I don't
I know what you're going to say.
And I call it, excuse me, what is that? And the horse say fetlock. It's a fetlock. Fetlock, thank you.
Right. It's a thing.
Oh, look at Kelly pretending to take a phone call.
How convenient.
How convenient.
How convenient.
Guys, this will go on all morning.
Yeah.
Don't you worry. Oh, hang on a second. Oh, sometimes in life. Oh, my God. Oh, no! The computer's broken. There we go. Let's stop that. Right, OK. We haven't got time for a song because there's too many calls. Pedigree Pete's on the line. Pedigree Pete.
Hello, my friend. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. It's Kelly's... Who do you want to play with?
Whoever's next.
It's Kelly's next. Kelly, do you want to take Pete?
Yes, please.
Pete, away you go.
Have you been listening to the full thing since 6:30?
I certainly have.
Okay.
It don't matter now. We've got 3 minutes to go.
Yeah.
Right, okay. I was in the dungeon many moons ago, and I came across a warlock.
Oh, yeah. Kelly, you can only keep that if you know what a warlock is.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Like a thing.
No.
Yeah.
It's a person.
With lots of hair.
Okay, it's a wizard. We'll give you that. Pete, thank you. Simon?
Hello.
Who do you want to play with?
Who's next?
Catherine.
Me.
That'll do, Catherine.
You going to take him? Can you take Simon?
That'll do's been said to me before. Go on.
Okay, then. A diff lock.
Oh. Tell me the story that goes with that.
A diff lock, it's the locking mechanism for a four-wheel drive vehicle when you put it into four-wheel drive to make all the wheels turn at the same speed.
Do you know what? Of course it is. I'm going to buy that. Let's go to John. Morning, John.
Morning.
John, you're playing for me. I hope that's okay. I'm not a sexy lady, but I can pretend to be.
No, I'm not. That's fine. I'll play for you.
John, what you got?
Disc lock.
What?
Yeah, sure. What's your name?
Disc lock?
Yeah. It's what you put on the brake disc of a motorcycle.
He's not wrong! Disc lock! Robbie, you're playing for Kelly. What have you got?
It's...
Tell us a story, Robbie. Tell us the story.
It's The Simpsons and Patty. Was it Patty and Selma? Their favourite programme? Matlock.
Oh! Thank you very much, Steve!
Don't let me down, Steve.
Steve, you're playing for Catherine now. These are very, very high stakes.
On line 1.
Steve, where are you, Steve?
Oh, there's
Steve?
no one there.
Steve's gone. Okay, Catherine, you're on your own.
Okay.
Oh,
Sorry,
no.
tell you what, I'll pop you.
Hang on,
Sammy, we'll be with you in the...
Someone's going to rescue me.
20 minutes, don't worry. We're playing lock
Fader
poker.
one is Wendy.
Wendy?
Yeah.
Hello.
Morning, Wendy.
Good morning.
You're playing for Catherine.
Don't let me down, Wendy.
Oh, am I?
Oh,
who do you...
Oh, I didn't know. That's fine.
Who do you want to play with?
Yeah, Catherine, yeah.
Yeah, she'll do.
Yeah, Loctite.
Yeah. Beautiful.
What?
It's a glue, innit?
Oh, yeah, it is. Well, listen, we've got to... It's coming to... I know it's
That means I win, no?
No, this goes on all morning, guys. All morning.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
On the M25 anti-clockwise, a van has broken down between junction 25 for Enfield and 24 for Potters Bar, which has blocked a lane and starting to cause some queues. On the M1, it's also looking busy southbound around junction 10 for the Luton Airport Spur Road. And looking at the speed sensors into Aylesbury on Aylesbury Road, it's looking really slow from the Golf Centre all the way to Douglas Road. On the train departure boards, the 7:27 train from Milton Keynes Central to Manchester is cancelled. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Rob is furious. Since when is Hoselock a word, or are you allowing the brand Hoselock? Yeah, we allow brands. Of course we do. Your degradation of our beautiful language is ruining us all. It wasn't me that said clock.
Local and vocal across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
It's 7 o'clock. I'm Simon Oxley. The headlines: carers say their role makes their own health worse. 2 major fires in Milton Keynes and homeless shelter in Bletchley closed down.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Carers in Beds, Herts and Bucks say their own health has deteriorated since starting their role. In a survey conducted by national charity Carers UK, almost 80% of carers across the east of England said that caring has made their health worse. More from Sophie Solaria.
The survey shows that over 80% of carers in the east of England are more stressed than before they started caring, while 69% say they're anxious and 50% have experienced depression. The study also shows a high number find it difficult to get a good night's sleep, and many experience injuries and physical health problems. There are currently almost 600,000 carers in the east of England, with nearly 1 million more expected to become carers over the next 5 years.
Firefighters in Milton Keynes tackled 2 major incidents in the space of 7 hours last night. 30 firefighters were called to a fire in a 4th-floor flat in Wolverton just after 11:30. An investigation will take place today. That followed a major blaze at a building site in Oak Grove, which started just before 5 p.m. 40 firefighters dealt with a 4-storey timber frame of a new development of flats, which was destroyed. HSBC is planning to cut 8,000 jobs in the UK with some branch closures. The bank is also reviewing whether to move its headquarters out of this country. A Hertfordshire police inspector says the force is eternally sorry that a man known for his domestic abuse could break his restraining order and murder his former girlfriend. Matthew Keogh was jailed for life yesterday for killing Sally Campion at her home in Bishop Stortford last summer. An internal police review is underway. Detective Inspector Graham Walsingham is from Herts Police.
It's a very difficult thing. Once people are out on a restraining order, it's very difficult to keep 24/7 tabs on anybody, and he has chosen to abuse that restraining order and not take any notice of the court's order, and he's gone and done what he's done, and for that we'll be eternally sorry.
A 5-year-old boy is in a life-threatening condition in hospital after a collision with a car in Milton Keynes. It happened in Monkston on Sunday afternoon. Britain's largest cancer charity has criticised plans by the Welsh Government to ban the use of e-cigarettes in enclosed public places. Cancer Research UK says there's no scientific basis for the ban, warning it could undermine attempts to help people give up tobacco. A homeless shelter in Bletchley has been shut down by Milton Keynes Council. St Mungo's housed vulnerable 16 to 21-year-olds. More from Barry Caffrey.
The shelter has been a home and a place of recovery for hundreds of homeless young people in Milton Keynes. But for years, residents have complained of antisocial behaviour problems, including fighting on streets and people shouting in the middle of the night. Milton Keynes Council say St Mungo's was closed because it didn't have the right planning consent, but it confirmed that complaints from residents about antisocial behaviour did play a part in the closure.
In sport, England's women begin their World Cup campaign this evening against France in Canada. The weather dry with sunny spells, a maximum temperature 16 degrees Celsius, and you can get the latest news and sport online at bbc.co.uk/3 counties.
Thank you, Simon. Morning, Iain Lee, BBC Three Counties Radio. If you've just tuned in, well, you've missed... what have you missed? What have they missed, Catherine? It's hard to explain.
You've missed the word game that could end all word games.
Well, it could end our radio career. Lock poker. I mean...
How do you play lock poker?
Poker? I'm not sure. Basically, you've got to come up with different versions of the word lock.
Yeah. It's going to get trickier, though, as the morning goes on, because people won't have heard the first hour.
It's going to get tricky as the next 3 months goes on. This game is a winner. By the way, I just had a phone call from my little boys who phoned up and sang to me, and then my eldest just said, Daddy, I had the worst dream ever last night. I said, what happened in it? He said, I got stolen. And then the phone went dead. And I tried to call back and there was no answer.
This is like the start of one of those movies.
It's a Liam Neeson film.
I will find you.
across Hearts and Bucks.
This is BBC
Daddy, I had
Three Counties.
I had the worst dream ever. What happened? I got stolen. He's only 5. Have we got any Texas?
Oh! I forgot about that element.
I
of the
know. It'll be full of locks. You know that now.
You reckon?
If you want to give it... By the way, we've had more phone calls this morning in the first hour than we've had in the last month. 08459 455 555.
And do you know who I've spoken to this morning?
Yeah.
Prolific tweeter Zoe Lee.
Oh, morning, Zoe.
So we're going to get her on in a bit.
Beautiful.
So, yeah, I'm just stalling because... As you know, I'm never ready with the text.
We've also got a legend coming in. I say legend, he's not a legend. Ladies and gentlemen, Pete Heat is in this building. He's there, look.
How tall is he?
How tall is he, isn't he? I told you this, look. Look. Get Kelly to stand next to him when she's finished on the phone. That would be funny. Get a picture of Kelly stood next to a tall man. I want my small friend next to my tall friend. That'd be funny, man. That'd be funny. Kelly, stand next to Pete. Stand next to Pete.
It's going to be like the Guinness Book of Records.
It is. It's like when that Malaysian Look at that! It's like when the Indian woman meets the Malaysian man. Pete is a brilliant magician, and we'll get him in a little bit, and we're going to take him out on the streets with Ben as well to do a little bit of magic. He's brilliant. At Pete Heat, if you want to follow him on Twitter. Well, let me do some business, and then we'll get Pete in. And I'm not quite sure how. Can you do magic on the radio, Pete? Do you reckon?
You can.
Yeah, he's given us the thumbs up, which means he doesn't understand the basics of radio, so that could be troublesome. Can you do tricks on the radio?
Am I on a mic?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, I can do tricks on the radio.
No pressure then, no pressure. All right, we'll have a bit of Pete in a second. Before that, though, you're more likely to have health problems if you become a carer. There's a segue. It would seem to be the conclusion drawn from the latest survey from Carers UK. Of the 253 people they questioned, almost 80 said that their health had declined since taking on the role, and half said they were suffering with depression. Well, Maria Butcher is a carer from Hertfordshire. Morning, Maria.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining in what is basically nonsense this morning, and I appreciate you bringing a little bit of sensibleness to us this morning. You're a carer. Who do you care for, Maria?
I care for my husband.
Tell us about your husband. What's his name and what's the situation?
His name's Lawrence, and the situation is that when I met him, he was already diabetic. Excuse me. But what we've coped with is that he lost his sight, and it was not just a sort of overnight thing. Well, it was deteriorating through the diabetes, but he had a series of operations, and one of which, sadly, he actually lost his left eye through the operation. So he actually then had to cope with blindness properly, with nothing in the left eye. Obviously, it's a plastic left eye, and very little in the right, indeed. And while that was all going on, that's a very distressing thing for anyone to go through.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. Very bad depression, clearly. You know, I mean, this was a complete change of lifestyle and possibilities. And he was a carpenter. Well, he's a carpenter, I should say. And suddenly, you can't do half of or anything of what you could.
How long ago did he lose his sight, Maria?
I'm just trying to remember. It was a gradual process, and then the actual loss, I think, was about in 2005. I think, when he actually lost the eye.
And so, as a carer, what does he rely on you for, and how do you help him day to day?
Well, of course, he can't drive. Obviously, that's one of the hugest things for him. So I drive him anywhere he wants to go. That includes all the appointments, of course, hospital appointments and so on. Also, I mean, I do mostly everything in the house. It's a question of, can't read something like we get a piece of equipment. He's amazing what he can do, but he needs me to read how things work, perhaps, or whatever it is. He's hamstrung, really, to actually do it on his own. He needs somebody with him.
Do you? What I'm going to say now isn't I had to care for my mum for a bit, and I'm not saying this as in any way derogatory to your husband, but do you feel that you have lost a part of your life, your freedom? Do you know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And what happens is that when you become a carer, because I was already his carer when that happened, and I became, well, I didn't sort of exist anymore, because once I drove us down to Devon on holiday, and my back went, and I had to go to a chiropractor, and he said, well, tell me about you, and everything came out about my husband, because I was completely
Isn't that funny? Yeah.
wrapped up, and I have to say that Carers in Hearts has helped me to be me. It's helped me to realise that we are valued as carers. I think that's one of the things that you really wonder at one point. Well, who am I? Yes, I do all these things, but what about me underneath? Because I believe that we all have a journey, and I have a separate journey. Yes, I'm married to him, but I also have a journey. And I've just written something on my piece of paper, which is that you don't get a chance to deal with your own issues. And if I sort of can expand on that, my son passed away when he was 12, 1 month into our marriage, and really, as his mother, I kind of had to put that sort of on hold, how I was going to sort of deal with that. And it's only because my husband also went through losing the sight. It was depressing and so on, and he ended up on painkillers also for his feet, and he ended up on morphine, and he's now come off morphine, and he's on another substitute, thanks to Spectrum helping us with that. And I'm getting my husband back after all this time, and we're actually being able to sort of relate to each other again. But there's been many years when he was really out of it. Not only was I doing everything, but I also didn't have him in sort of communication and conversation. Wasn't there for a very long time. So we're coming through, very what has been an incredibly difficult period.
It does sound like, and I hope this doesn't sound patronising, you've had quite a run of bad luck.
Okay, yeah.
And how has it affected your health, Maria? You personally?
I'll explain one particular time. He'd had an allergic reaction to one of the drugs, and we got back at about 3:30 in the morning after him just having to not take the drug again for all the swelling and everything to go down. But we'd had the paramedics, and we'd been down to the hospital, and I started screaming. It was 9 o'clock in the morning, and I started screaming, and I said, I just need a break, 24 hours break. And at that point, I'd had no respite at all, and that was the sort of, oh my goodness, this woman needs respite. And suddenly, social services were down, and they actually helped us, and we got onto that sort of respite thing. But before that, I hadn't. And yes, I've got some statistics in front of me that were provided yesterday. 79% of carers say that their caring role has made their health worse, and I can quite imagine. Because one, you don't ask to do this role. It is something that happens to you, and obviously you love the person in your life, and you want to do everything you can. But we're only human, and we do have, we have limitations. And there comes a point where you think, well, has my life ended? Do you know? You need to actually have that balance. It's so important to, one, feel valued and appreciated, but also to pursue your own things that you're interested in as well, to keep yourself going.
Maria, I could talk to you all morning. It's fascinating, but I've got business. I've got to move on. I really appreciate you putting. I think you've given us a lot to think about. And,
can I just tell you very fast?
Of course you can. Go on.
We have an information stand. This is for Watford. We have an information stand at Asda, Watford, on this Thursday. This is being manned through the people from the hub. We have a hub, and there are many hubs across the county, and lots of activities happening. And can I also give you a telephone number for Carers in Hearts?
Yeah, go on.
01992 586-969, and there is a website, www.caresinhearts.org.uk, and I really reach out to all you carers who might know that you are carers, but also people who think, I only look after my husband. Please consider yourself a carer. You're a hidden carer, but we need you to get in touch with this organisation which can help you. If not now, then when you need in the future, please.
Maria, it's a brilliant message. Thanks very much for sharing with us.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much indeed. That's Maria Butcher. 08459 455 505. Zoe, you want to play lock poker? Stay there.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
On the M25 anti-clockwise, there's been an accident just before junction 20 for Kings Langley, which is causing delays back from junction 21 for the M1, and it's causing a lane to be blocked. But anti-clockwise on the M25 between junction 25 for Enfield and 24 for Potters Bar, the lane closed there for the broken down van has now reopened. On the M1, it's busy southbound around junction 10 for Luton Airport, and looking at the speed sensors on the A5 southbound, that's looking quite slow from Lynch Hill approaching Markyate. On the trains, the 727 service from Milton Keynes Central to Manchester has been cancelled. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Thank you very much. Right, it's 7:16. It's Tuesday the 9th of June. I'm Iain Lee. These are your headlines on BBC Three Counties Radio. Carers in beds, Herts and Bucks say their own health has deteriorated since starting their role. Firefighters in Milton Keynes tackled two major incidents last night. A fire in a fourth-floor flat in Wolverton followed a major blaze at a building site in Oak Grove. And HSBC is planning to cut 8,000 jobs in the UK.
BBC Three Counties Radio. Every weekday from 3. Local stories.
People in Watford are being urged to celebrate their local heroes by creating a postcard in their honour. In other local news, rugby fans are being warned to watch out for fake World Cup tickets.
Roberto Peroni.
Now, a metal detectorist has discovered an archaeological find in a field near Royston in Hertfordshire. Taxi drivers in Luton are demanding to be allowed to drive in bus lanes at all times. There is to be a new station at the Leighton Buzzard narrow gauge railway.
Roberto Peroni. Weekdays from 3 on BBC Three Counties Radio.
Right, listen, we've got Pete Heat here, who's a magician. Morning, Pete.
Morning.
We're going to come to you in a second. I've got to do a little bit of business.
Okay.
You're going to do actual magic on the radio.
Actual magic.
You sure?
I'm certain.
All right, tough guy. Zoe's on the line. Morning, Zoe.
Morning, Ian.
We've been playing lock poker all morning. For those who don't know what it is, basically, we went round and came up with different lock words. No, I know, it sounds rubbish, Pete. It was brilliant. Go on, Zoe.
It's only the flipping best game ever.
Isn't it good?
It's just brilliant.
We'll all be playing it.
I've got a great one for Kelly if she still wants it.
Kelly, do you want... Oh, look at Kelly pretending she's on the phone to someone. Hang on a second. It is my turn in the game, Zoe. So
okay. Go on in. I think you'll like this one.
Go on then, let's hear the story.
Okay, I'm going to take you back a few hundred years.
Oh.
We're up north in England, and we're travelling through a forest.
Yeah.
And you're a dignitary, you're a rich person with lots of treasure aboard your carriage.
Yeah, that's true, man. I feel that vibe.
I can see you in that carriage, and you only come across Robin Hood, a.k.a. Robert of Locksley.
Hey! Zoe, boom shakalak! Would you be my fair maiden?
Oh, of course I will, Ian.
Zoe, thank you very much indeed. That's what I'm talking about.
Wow.
That's what I'm talking about, you see, Peter? Where's your wand? Steady.
Easy.
Steady. We'll do some magic in a second. I've got to just do this. 08459 455 555 if you want to take part. Now, you may remember last year we brought you the story of St Mungo's, a homeless shelter in Milton Keynes that was causing residents problems because of antisocial behaviour, but it was allowed to remain open. Well, it's been shut down by Milton Keynes Council, and one of the reasons was the constant string of complaints by local residents. Nigel Long is Labour councillor for Bletchley West, joins me now. Morning, Nigel.
Good morning.
Just remind us of the background to St Mungo's Hostel.
Right, it's actually St George's Hostel and St George's Road, and St Mungo's is the organisation that runs it.
Thank you very much.
It was a long-standing hostel for basically teenagers and young people who become homeless, and many were very problematic. It was badly run and was in fact operating without planning permission and should have been closed a long time ago. There were enormous problems for the neighbours and the police were constantly called. So we listened to the residents and we've now closed that down. And what that means is that St Mungo's now have only 4 other hostels in the city. And we're actually concerned about those hostels as well, because we don't think this is the way to deal with young homeless people.
What is the way to deal with young homeless people?
Well, the main thing to do is to prevent them becoming homeless, and that means putting resources into ensuring that they can stay at home with their parents.
Well, supposing if they don't want to stay at home with their parents, supposing they're being abused or they're being beaten or this has been going on for years.
These are not young people who are being abused. These are young people who end up homeless for all sorts of reasons, but not because of abuse. If they were subject to abuse, they'd be dealt with through a different route.
No, if you knew that they were subject to abuse, quite often, I'm sure you're aware, victims of abuse don't go around going, "Hey guys, I've been abused, that's why I ran away from home." They tend to keep it a bit secret, don't they?
That I'm sure is true, but this is not that group of individuals or youngsters.
How do you know, Nigel?
Group. Well, because we know who's in these hostels, and we don't actually support the use of hostels for this group of people. We think people should live independently. We think people should stand on their own 2 feet, live independently, and be supported to live independently. Either stay at home or live in alternative accommodation.
And how are you going to find that alternative accommodation? Because obviously Milton Keynes has got a terrible housing problem, hasn't it?
Well, Milton Keynes does have a huge housing problem, but young people have to find accommodation in the private rented sector in particular.
Well, how can they if they haven't got a job or they haven't got the money?
Well, most young people in the city actually look after themselves fairly well.
Yeah, but Nigel, I think you're being a little bit dismissive of the homeless problem. They're not choosing to be homeless. Some people are facing terrible situations at home. They can't get a job, or if they can get a job, they can't afford the outrageous rents that private landlords are charging.
But
is your plan to close all of the hostels?
Well, I think we've got to find a better way of dealing with youth homelessness.
Is your plan to close all of the hostels?
We don't have that plan at this point in time.
But you don't really agree with the ethos of hostels?
No, I don't, and I don't agree with any
residential.
I don't agree with any kind of residential institution.
Blimey! So I'm a young person, right? And for whatever reason, I can't stay at home. For whatever reason, I've got no other option. So what do you suggest I do? What, I go out and rent a flat?
Well, I think what we've got to do first of all is stop young people from leaving home.
How are you going to do that, Nigel?
Well, again, from my experience as a homeless persons officer over many years, you do it by working with the parents and working with the young people. But supposing
this is, with greatest respect, I've spoken to people who have been homeless and people who've worked with the homeless. This is quite a naive view to think you can just go in and go, all right, guys, now listen, young Johnny isn't getting on with you, Mum, and you, stepdad. Let's try and sort this out, guys. Let's have a chat. That's not going to work, is it?
I don't think hostels work.
No, but Nigel, but but you've not come up with a feasible alternative. Your alternative is to make sure it works at home. Well, obviously it doesn't work at home.
I think we have to find pathways into independent living for young people.
Tell me how.
Well, I think measures like working with the parents is important. I think helping young people move into independent living through the private rented sector.
Nigel, you're living, with the greatest respect, sir, you're talking complete balderdash, because if a relationship is broken down with parents or step-parents or whatever, you can't fix that. And how on earth is a 16, 17-year-old supposed to afford private rented accommodation when you know that Milton Keynes has got a massive housing problem and private landlords can charge what they want?
Rightly or wrongly, under the law, most young people are not eligible for support with hostels. The hostel provision we have focuses on those in a very small range.
Nigel, you've told me you don't agree with hostels. You've yet to come up with a workable alternative.
Well, the workable alternative I'm putting to you is that young people should not leave home.
No, they shouldn't. The young people shouldn't be homeless, but they are. You've not come up with a solution for that. You're going to close the hostels. You'd like to close the hostels, and what, you're going to go and talk to the parents and try and sort it out?
Let me be very clear about what I'm saying. I don't agree with any kinds of institutions or semi-institutional setups. What I believe is people should live independently. What we need to do is intervene where there are problems between young people and their parents and resolve those problems, which happens in 99% of cases.
Where have you got those figures from? Or have you just plucked them out of the air?
Well, they come from my experience being a homeless persons officer.
Your experience is 99% of the situations.
The vast majority.
Thank you very much indeed. Let's not throw around dangerous figures, because they don't help anyone.
It's probably 99.9% in my experience.
OK, so nearly 100%, Nigel, because you're throwing around these figures, and you know, it's not that you're just making them up. You've got experience. Nearly 100% of the times that you've dealt with a young homeless person and you've gone and spoken to their mum and dad, you've sorted it all out.
I must say that in the past, when I've been involved in doing that sort of thing, we've generally sorted these problems out.
Nearly 100% of the times.
Virtually everybody. We've either got the parents to take them back and resolve.
Then why are there so many homeless kids, Nigel? And why are you so reluctant to help them?
Well, I think I'm willing to help, but not through the institutional route of hostels, and especially not through establishing a hostel where the kids then together cause a huge problem for their neighbourhood.
No one would approve of homeless people, going around and effing and jeffing in the street and annoying the neighbours. That's outrageous. But I'm really shocked. You're a Labour councillor, yeah. I'm really shocked that you don't approve of hostels. Hey, listen, I don't want there to be young homeless people, but there are. And Nigel, I think you're talking nonsense. I think it's a really naive view to think that you could... These kids aren't leaving their homes. These young adults aren't leaving their homes just because they're not allowed to, watch Top of the Pops on a Friday or play their music quite loud. There's something quite fundamentally flawed in the relationship with their parents. Or the people they're living with. That's why they're doing it. That's why they're leaving. And then to suggest that they can go back and sort it out, or they go and rent a flat. They can't afford to.
I think we have to find alternatives to the hostels. Now, given that takes time, that's why we've carried on funding some of these hostels. There are 4 hostels in Milton Keynes that we fund. And those hostels are focused on those youngsters with statutory needs, those who are actually homeless and covered by the law or covered by the Southwark judgment. So we're focusing on those with the real needs. Other youngsters who don't fall into that category, we think need to be sorted out in a different way.
That's harsh. It's all about cold, and I would say soulless. It's all about money, isn't it? You just mentioned there that you're funding these places. Well, you don't want to fund places with kids when they could go and spend a few £100 a week on rent to a private landlord. They should be doing that instead of you funding them.
But if you're asking me about the dominance of the private rented sector, my view is that we need lots more affordable housing.
But there isn't. So you're giving those young people no alternative.
I don't think that institutional forms of support like hostels are the way forward.
I think that's heartbreaking.
I've never thought that.
No, I think that's heartbreaking, Nigel.
Well, you may think that. I think you've got to help people to live independently.
I agree. I agree. And sending them back to homes where there might be abusive relationships with their parents, or they've broken down for whatever reason, or just saying, well, we're not going to help you, go and rent a flat from Dodgepot landlord. I think that's cold, and I think that's a terrible indictment of our society if that's where you want to take it.
And that's not what I was saying. I was clearly drawing the distinction between those youngsters who might be subject to abuse or threat of risk.
I think your definition of abuse is a little bit too narrow.
Well, it may well be.
Yeah, I think it is.
I think that we can't carry on providing some institutional support for people. We've got to find different pathways.
You're Labour. You're Labour.
Well, I think we've got to set priorities, haven't we?
Are you Labour?
I mean, our priorities are really clear at Milton Keynes Council.
Are you Labour?
I am a socialist councillor, absolutely.
You're a socialist councillor?
Absolutely. And I think
wow, the definition of socialism has changed quite a bit since I was investigating it.
I don't think it has. I think it's about supporting people to live independently, to live good lives.
Okay, Nigel.
I think that's what it is. It's not about some institutional setups that don't resolve problems, that just cause more problems.
Okay.
And I think what we need to do is get young people into work, into apprenticeships, into stable housing. And I think you do that by supporting those individuals, not by putting them in some institutional settings.
Nigel, I'm going to leave it there. Wow, he's not just a Labour councillor, he's a socialist councillor, and that's his...
So that's homelessness sorted.
Oh, hang on, that microphone's not working at all.
Isn't it?
No.
Homelessness sorted, then.
That's that one sorted, yeah. Just stay at home, kids. That's depressing. That's depressed me. Nigel Long, Labour councillor, and as he says, a socialist for Bletchley West. 08459 455 555.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
On the M25, there's been an accident anti-clockwise just before junction 20 for Kings Langley, which is causing queues now from junction 21 for the M1, although all the lanes are open again. It's also open again between junction 25 for Enfield and 24 for Potters Bar anti-clockwise after a van broke down earlier. On the M1, it's busy southbound around junction 10 for the Luton Airport Spur Road, also looking slow on the A5 approaching Markyate, and on the A1 southbound between the St Neots Junction and the Black Cat Roundabout, that's looking very slow as well on the speed sensors. Samantha Brough, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Across beds, hearts and bugs.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
It's 7:30. I'm Simon Oxley. Carers in Beds, Herts and Bucks say their own health has deteriorated since starting their role. Firefighters in Milton Keynes tackled two major incidents last night. A fire in a fourth-floor flat in Wolverton followed a major blaze at a building site in Oak Grove. HSBC is planning to cut 8,000 jobs in the UK with some branch closures. And a homeless shelter in Bletchley has been shut down by Milton Keynes Council. St Mungo's housed vulnerable 16 to 21-year-olds, but residents have complained of antisocial behaviour problems.
Three Counties Sports.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
England begin their Women's World Cup campaign this evening against France in Canada. France, ranked third in the world, are one of the favourites for the tournament. Aylesbury's Ellen White could feature for England. Captain Steph Houghton believes her side can go all the way.
We can't come to a tournament and not believe, and I think we know that we've prepared fully, we know that we've worked hard, we know that we believe and trust in the game plan that the manager's given us, and I think if we stay together, and there's no doubt that we've got some players that have got world-class ability, and it's all about performance. So as a captain of this side, and I fully believe that we have the players to potentially go all the way.
The new Stevenage assistant manager Kevin Watson says they will try and play a different style of football next season. Watson will work alongside new boss Teddy Sheringham when the squad return to training.
Hopefully we can take the club a little bit further forward than where they've been. I mean, they've had terrific times under Graham Wesley. I think that we're gonna try and play a little bit of a different way to what Graham did, and that's no disrespect to him because he had a very successful time at the club. But we want to move it forward and we want to be successful, and I think we can be.
England's cricketers start their 5-match one-day series against New Zealand at Edgbaston today. Captain Owen Morgan wants to bounce back from their World Cup failure.
The aggressive nature in which we want to go about our business is at the forefront of our team plans, and we've seen that we have fallen behind in one-day cricket and T20 cricket in particular, and we're trying to bridge that gap at the moment, and the only way to bridge that gap is to drive the game forward in that manner. And again, as I said, we've selected a group of guys that we think play in that fashion, so we just need to free them up and allow them to continue to play in the manner that they do.
BBC Three Counties News and Sport. The next full bulletin is at 8.
Across Beds, Herts and Bucks.
This is Iain Lee.
BBC.
So do none of those microphones work?
Well, let's do an experiment. Right. 3 mic 1.
That doesn't work. Who's been messing around with the microphones in the studio? No, that doesn't work. I hate to say it, guys. This is a radio studio, and if you're going to mess around with the microphones, just don't. Just don't. Pete Heat is here.
Hello.
Now, what do you notice about Pete, Catherine?
He's very tall.
Correct.
He's got a little boy's face and a beard.
I do look about 12, it's true.
I used to run a variety night a few years ago in Camden. I love magic. I love magic, right? It makes me 12 years old. I think it's brilliant. And I got Pete. Oh no, I saw you in King's Cross, didn't I? Doing a gig
with Rich Vulture.
Yeah. And the reason I liked you so much, the trick you did with the coloured underwear was amazing.
Oh, thank you.
But also, you're taller than me, and I'm instantly drawn to people who are taller than me. How tall are you?
I'm 6'7".
Ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
I mean that's just amazing,
How
guys.
did you do that?
6 foot. He's 6'7", Kelly.
I know.
It's great to have you back.
Thank you.
There we go.
It's almost twice Kelly.
Let's just get straight into it. Can you do a trick on the radio?
Yeah, let's try something. Okay, this is more of a sort of warm up one. It's like a psychological thing, a sort of Darren Brownie kind of thing. So basically, what that means is that it might not work. But no, basically,
if it doesn't work, we will think less of you.
Of course. Well, that's kind of how these things work, isn't it? But so basically, I have here.
Oh, I'm nervous.
Don't let it be maths.
No, I have here a die or a dice if you're wrong. English degree. All I got out of it was that joke. Right, I have here a dice. So we've got basically 6 different numbers. I'm going to give that to you, Catherine. Yeah. There you go. In fact, just for the listeners. That's a dice rolling or a die.
It's quite a big die, yes.
So basically, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to get you to put it in your hand with any number on top. So say if you did that, you'd be choosing 6. But whatever. I'm going to turn away so that I can't see what you have. Oh, no, hold on, wait, don't do it yet, because I'm still looking. But so you put it in your hand with one number on top. You're going to then cover it with your other hand. So you can let Iain see it, just don't let me see it. So when I turn back, you'll hear like this, so I can't see through your hands and can't see what you've gone for. Okay? I'm going to turn away.
He's turned away. Okay, he's turned away. Okay, she's showing me the number. She's put it up. Okay, right. You can turn back now, Pete.
Okay, so you covered it up?
Yeah, it's covered.
Now, the listeners who are listening online will be able to go back and verify this to check. I was hopefully influencing you with what I was saying. The last thing I said before I turned away was, let me know when you've got one. and I said 1 at the end of the sentence. Hopefully that would have made you choose a number 1. Is that right? You remember 1? Brilliant. Okay, cool.
That's such a dope.
Kelly, come in. Kelly, come and watch this. Come and watch this.
And that sounds like nonsense. Like, how could that possibly have worked? But you can just check. You can listen back. You can check.
Yeah. She did have the number 1, guys.
Okay.
Kelly's coming in to verify this.
Okay.
Come in.
Now, but maybe that's just luck. Maybe everyone goes for 1 the first time for some weird reason. All right. So I mean, they don't, but maybe they do. Okay. So I'm going to turn away. We're going to try that again. All right.
Yeah, okay.
And
he's turned away. He cannot see.
We're doing it a bit differently this time. I'm not looking.
Can she show us the number?
Yep, sure.
Okay, she's showing us the number. You see that, Kelly? Okay, he's not looking. He cannot see.
Okay, can I turn back?
Yes, you can.
All right. Okay, and there's no way I can see that, right?
Right.
Okay, I'm gonna. This time, this is more. The listeners can play along here as well. I'm gonna ask you: is it 1? Is it 2? And so on up to 6. Each time, I want you to say no.
Okay.
I feel so nervous.
Now, one of these times, you're going to be lying, obviously, because it is one of the numbers, I'm assuming. Unless something really weird's happened. But no, so I'm going to... So you know what you got to do. You just got to say no each time. Okay, so is it 1?
No.
Is it 2?
No.
Is it 3?
No.
Is it 4?
No.
Is it 5?
No.
Is it 6?
No.
Okay, now based on that, I think when I got to 3, there was a sort of slightly more of a smile than before and a little pause. Hopefully, did you go for 3?
Yes.
That's just nuts, man.
All right, okay, so that's twice. If I can do it 3 times in a row, I'm going to consider myself a lanky genius. All right, so one more time, we'll do it a bit differently again.
She's showing us the number. Okay, we've got the number. He cannot see. He's turned away.
Okay, go.
Okay, cool. Now, I'm not looking. I didn't say anything this time, right? And I kept gesturing, saying, "I'm not looking." Can you see what my hand's doing here? Can you describe what my hand's doing?
He's got his hand up so I can see 5 fingers.
I'm showing I'm gesturing, saying I'm not looking, but I'm holding up a big number 5 with my hand in to cover the die. Did you go for 5? Is that right? Brilliant. Okay, cool. Thank you very much.
Freaky,
okay,
man.
Cool. So that's 3 in a row.
If only Dealey was here, that would crucify him. That's amazing.
Oh, thank you.
How
did you do that?
Magic.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, I was actually telling you how I did it all along.
That's incredible. I love it. It makes me... I tell you why I get I love magic, but I hate magic at the same time. Of course. Because it makes me so nervous. Because what if it goes wrong and then we all have to go, oh, never mind, Pete, it doesn't matter.
It was fine, yeah.
It doesn't matter.
We all have bad days. Yeah.
It was just nice to see you anyway and catch up.
Yeah.
Can you do another one?
Do one on Kelly.
Of course. Well, actually, should we do a sort of interactive one? Can we get the listeners to, if anyone cares and is listening, can you tweet in with a 2-digit number? So between 1 and 52.
Let's if you're on Twitter now, tweet at Iain Lee a number between 1 and 52.
Now, obviously, I could have mates listening in and tweeting in exactly what I told them to.
Are you allowed to see what this number is? Well, let me turn the screen away so you can't.
Turn it away, and hopefully you'll get a few different options. In a second, I'm going to get you to choose one of them, so you know it's not just say my mate going.
If you tweet, okay, we've got one. Let's see if
you've already got one. Okay, maybe get a few, and then
we've got 2.
You decide which one you want.
Okay, let's wait for one more. We've got 2. Let's wait for one more to come through. Okay, I'm just going to check to make sure this person isn't. Oh, we've got loads now. Look, let's make sure this person isn't friends with you on Twitter. All right, Jimmy Sherlock, we're going to go with yours.
Okay. All right, I'm going to give you an envelope as well, and don't open it yet. Just have it over there. All right. So here's the thing.
We've had about half a dozen sent in. We've gone with Jimmy Sherlock's. Right. Okay.
Here's
holding a paper envelope.
You can put it down for a second. We don't need it just yet. All right. And the second thing is we got quite predictably a pack of cards.
No.
Well, you're not into that. Okay.
Go on.
In fact, hold on, I'm just thinking about this. Yeah, all right, we'll do it.
Okay. You're going to do it? You okay? You feeling the vibe?
We're going to do it. Okay. All right. I'm going to mix these up. Okay.
Oh, he does a proper shuffle.
Oh, no.
Very impressive.
Yeah. I'm going to spread through there so you can see they're all different.
Yeah.
Okay, Catherine. I'm going to get you to...
I'm so
if
nervous.
I shuffle them up. Yeah, so am I. I haven't done this trick before. Catherine, can you just cut the pack somewhere?
Mm-hmm.
She's cutting the pack.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, are you happy there?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Right. Now, obviously, you could have cut high, you could have cut low, you could have cut in the middle. You actually cut roughly in the middle, but that's cool. This is so. Step 1 of the trick. I want you to just have a look at the card that you cut to. Just lift it up, have a look at it.
And this top lot?
Yeah, just lift them up. Yep.
Do I?
Yeah. So pick it up.
Can I show you? No.
Yeah. Don't show me. Yeah. And have a look.
Yep.
Show Iain as well, actually.
Show me.
Yeah. Show Iain.
Okay, I'm having a look. Okay. Yep.
And you can drop them back. All right, okay, you can square them up as well. All right, so for the first
back in the day.
All right, we're gonna mix them up one more time, put them back in the box. So Ian, so the first part, this is probably a bit boring if you're listening to it, but
this is better than the usual rubbish they get. Yeah,
get over it. But so the first part, well, firstly, you can name it out loud because I'm committed myself. I've put an envelope down over there, obviously. Name out loud the card that you've just looked at.
It was the Tour Clubs.
The Tour Clubs, and they were all different in that pack. You checked that, right?
So, well.
Okay, well, as far as you could tell, yeah? Ian, can you open the envelope? That's a card from a different pack, from a blue pack that I put in there earlier.
That's the Tour Clubs.
It's the Tour Clubs. Okay, brilliant.
That's the Tour Clubs.
All right, that's good.
How did you do that?
I don't know. Magic. But no. But the second stage. Sorry, have you got a 2-digit number?
Yeah, I've got a 2-digit number.
Okay, brilliant. All right, so you can put that down. So the predictions work, but this is a bit different. This is where the audience.
Do you not think that's freaky, Catherine?
Yeah, I'm completely
Okay.
Because that was sat in front of me.
Okay, and you could have cut anyway, obviously, but this time this is where the audience. I'm gonna mix them up properly. This is where the audience are going to find your card. Okay, hopefully. So I'm going to spread these out. So
I've got this 2-digit number. Should I be thinking of it hard? Should I be thinking hard?
You don't have to. If I spread these like this, Catherine, can you just see that they genuinely are? They're all mixed up. It's a full pack as far as you can tell. Yeah. Okay, and I've just been shuffling them as well, right? Okay. So just to describe this to the listeners, I've spread the cards across the table, and Catherine is looking at them, and she can clearly see they are all different. Okay, and they're in a random order now that I've shuffled them. Ian, can you tell us the number that you're thinking, the 2-digit number that you've chosen?
Jimmy Sherlock has given, and we've had loads from Tim and from Jevon and from Kate and loads of people. The one I went for was Jimmy Sherlock's 24.
24. Okay, so this is going to take. You could have chosen a smaller number. It's going to take a while. Now, Catherine, can you just slide 1, 2, 3, 4, slide 24 cards over to the side?
1, 2, 3.
She's counting
4,
through the cards.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. How many?
24.
21, 22,
23, 24. So that card there is the 24th card. Just slide it away from the others so you can see I can't switch it or do anything funny.
There's nowhere near it.
The 24th card. You said 24. You could have chosen any of the other 2-digit numbers.
Yeah, there's loads up there.
If this is the Tour Clubs, you've all got to go mental. And I'm going to turn it over.
Flip it!
Okay.
That is nuts! That's like evil, though, isn't it? Do you ever use your powers for evil?
I tried to avoid that, but
sometimes it's inevitable.
I'm a nice guy, and sometimes you got to do it, haven't you? You got to give in to the Dark Lord. But
I see that's incredible.
Yeah.
That makes. I mean, it's just. I'm literally speechless. Did you see that, Kelly?
Yeah. I don't understand.
Put Shaggy on the headphones, because Shaggy is a man of reason, man of science. Okay.
I haven't got any headphones.
Well, it's a BBC, mate.
Because I took them back. They're the only ones that worked.
Shags, come in here. That is.
Annoying. It's annoying.
None of those microphones work, by the way.
That's all right.
You don't need headphones here. We're all friends.
Oh yeah.
You're a man of science. You're a walking Wikipedia.
That's me.
You saw that.
Yeah. I can't believe it. It's got to be something.
It's witchcraft.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
It's got to be a trick or something, isn't it?
Come on.
Can you do?
What?
Have you got one more you can do for us? Or cause I don't want you to exhaust your psychic energies.
Yeah, I can do one more.
Can you do one more for us
right now?
Let's do it right now. Go on.
Okay. I'm trying to think of.
Shaggy, come around here. Come around here and watch. Come around here and watch.
Actually.
Kelly, come in and watch this. This kind of stuff requires an audience.
So you're Shaggy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I know. I'm a magician. Okay.
Kels, come around here.
I'm going to mix these up one last time.
Another pack of cards. Here we go.
I'm going to mix these up one last time. You can hear that happening. There you go. Right into the mic.
See, I would pay money just to come and see you shuffle like that.
Sweet moves.
For those who can't see, I just did a pretty nifty one-handed fan closure. Don't go on about it. Okay. Right. If I give you a pen, Shaggy. In fact, firstly, can you just name any card? Ideally, not the Tour Clubs because we just had that, but name a different card.
The 9 of Diamonds.
9 of Diamonds. You sure? You can change your mind if you want.
Okay, I'll change my mind. I'll go for the Jack of Clubs.
The Jack of
Don't
Clubs.
mess with Shaggy.
I'm not the Jack of Clubs. All right, okay, that's fine. In fact, there it is, Jack of Clubs. Shaggy, can you sign your name on that Jack of Clubs?
Yeah,
you know you got those.
Of course, you sign it, Shaggy. That is your name.
On the side.
Yeah, just in the white strip, so it really shows up.
Shaggy.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you very much. So we've got a very distinctive card. Okay, so we've got Shaggy Jacket Clubs with a signature on, and you're going to recognise that, obviously. Yeah. I haven't asked you to sign anything previously, have I? No, good. All right, let's try this. I made a little prediction. I had Ian's prediction with that envelope over there, but I also have another prediction. So in my... I'll cover that up. In my wallet over here, I have a little zip compartment in the middle. Inside that zip compartment,
magic 20s.
Yeah, exactly. These are the magic 20s. Inside the zip compartment, there is an envelope. Like, this is a sealed envelope. So unlike Ian's one, this one is actually sealed, and it's been in that zip compartment in my wallet the whole time.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to hand that over to you. Could you firstly check that it is actually sealed? It's not just like there's no slits or holes in it. Yeah. Okay. And could you open it up? Rip it open.
I don't like this. We're messing with forces we shouldn't touch.
And there's something inside.
Yeah,
it's a folded card, folded neatly into quarters. Could you just open that card?
Oh my God! What?
Flipping it, Shaggy's card, ladies and gentlemen.
That's genuinely the
Is that
first
your
time
writing?
Yeah.
Everyone's just gone. It's got a little bit tense.
That's the first time I've ever signed that ever.
I think I need a spritzer.
And I changed card as well. I thought that would throw you.
That's
just. I mean, I look at him. Look at his little angelic face.
Before I go, shall I show you shall I show you the magic 20s?
Sammy, you don't mind waiting a second, do you?
All right, I'll wait.
We've got Pete here who's doing a little bit of magic. This is amazing. Hang on a second.
This one will not work too well over the radio, but for you guys, it's going to be great. All right, so we've got some lottery tickets. These are old lottery tickets, and they didn't win, or I probably wouldn't still be working. But this is how. So we've got 5 tickets. Also, you can be the eyes of the audience. There's nothing else in my hands. There's nothing up my sleeves, which I've rolled up. He
has rolled his sleeves up, guys.
Okay, so watch the lottery tickets, 5 tickets. Just in about 1 second, you see they change into 5 £20 notes. There we go, we've got £100 there. And you can examine
what
them.
You didn't see there, Sammy, was he had 5 lottery tickets. He folded them over. He didn't even close his hands. I saw those bits. He's just done it again. I can see the bits of paper as he's holding them, and they just sent us £20 notes, and then they've just gone back to lottery tickets.
Do you see them change into the money?
Yes!
Physically?
We need to film this
your
for
eyes are watching the lottery ticket become a £20 note.
Yes! This is freaky stuff, man.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
M25, it's looking busy anti-clockwise between junction 18 for Chorleywood and 16 for the M40, but anti-clockwise between junction 20 for Kings Langley and where the accident was earlier. That's now been cleared out of the way, so it's starting to move properly again through there now. On the A1M southbound, it's really slow from junction 8 for Hitchin to 7 for Stevenage, and it's slow on the A1 southbound approaching the Black Cat roundabout from the St Neots junction. On the train departure boards, there are no major delays showing up at the moment. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Thank you very much. We're all we're all just speechless. It's 7:47. It's where are we now? It's Tuesday the 9th of June. These are your headlines on BBC Three Counties Radio. Carers in beds, Herts and Bucks say their own health has deteriorated since starting their role. Firefighters in Milton Keynes tackled 2 major incidents last night. A fire in a 4th floor flat in Wolverton followed a major blaze at a building site in Oak Grove. And HSBC is planning to cut 8,000 jobs in the UK with some branch closures. We'll have more from @Pete Heat in a minute. Let's get the weather. Here's Kate.
Beds, Herts and Bucks weather.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Good morning. It's not a bad day on the whole. We do have a little bit of cloud over us at the moment, though, for many places. Maybe 1 or 2 spots of rain, but it will clear. We'll get some nice sunny spells across the board through the day. Brisk northeasterly breeze, making things feel perhaps a little cooler, but a maximum of 16 Celsius. Overnight it stays breezy. Minimum temperature down to 7 or 8 Celsius, but it is clear. Chilly start tomorrow, but plenty of sunny spells. The wind a little lighter, so it will feel a touch warmer at 17 Celsius. So that's your forecast.
If you've missed any of the programmes here on BBC Three Counties Radio, you've missed things like this.
Did the drugs in his mouth kill him?
No, they didn't.
Okay. Did they play a part in his death?
He had 4 glasses of champagne, 2 bottles of wine, 4 cocktails. What's 2 French?
I have a feeling it was a cocktail as well.
But there is a way you can hear it all again.
And Renata Blower, you have just allowed the first ever nurse to be funded for Great Ormond Street who will deal specifically with children who have undiagnosed conditions.
bbc.co.uk/Three Counties Radio.
Well, the Police and Crime Commissioner for Bev Martins joins me in the studio. Were you wrong to go ahead with this referendum?
But what was the alternative? As I've said, that was not a situation that I was prepared to just sit there and do nothing about.
Allowing you to listen to what you missed. bbc.co.uk/Three Counties Radio.
On FM, AM, online and digital radio.
This is Iain Lee.
On BBC
Man alive.
Three Counties Radio.
Pete Heat is in the studio with us. If you want to follow Pete on Twitter, you can. It's @PeteHeat. But your name's not Pete Heat.
No, it's Smoke and Mirrors. That's not my name either. That'd be a better name,
It's a
actually.
double actor in, right?
Yeah. Smoke and Mirrors. Yeah, I'm Smoke. But no, Pete Hathaway is my real name. But
So what? But why do you use Pete Heat on Twitter? Because that's annoying for me, and it's annoying for you. Because I'm going. They've got this great magician called Pete Heat, and they're googling you and going, "Well, there's no such guy."
No, they're not. If you Google Pete Heat, I'm the top hit.
Are you the top hit?
Yeah.
Okay, but Pete Hathaway.
I'm also the top hit.
And not even Pete. Who's Pete Hathaway?
Some. No, I'm not allowed to say that.
No, you're not.
I kind of whispered it, so is that all right?
Yeah, that's everything.
But no, I don't know. There probably is one.
Okay, there probably is.
I doubt he's just talking.
Apologies if anyone was offended by Pete's language.
Yeah.
This guy knows voodoo, though, so I'm not going to mess around with him too much. What's the website? If people want to find you and book you for, like, I don't know, a wedding, or I believe you do corporate gigs.
I do a lot of corporate events. I do a lot of weddings, a lot of Christmas parties, a lot of all that stuff, festivals, everything. It's peteheat.co.uk.
Okay.
And if you search Pete Heat on YouTube, there's loads of videos of me doing magic. Obviously.
But you do. Yeah, let's get some calls up. But you do like weddings and birthdays, and do you do that thing where there'll be like loads of different tables, and you'll just walk around and go, "Hi guys."
Yeah.
Does anyone here like magic?
Everyone's immediately uncomfortable, but then you draw them in.
Exactly, I do exactly that, and that's exactly what happens. Yeah, because everyone's like, "Oh God, a magician! Is he going to make balloon animals? Is he going to? Is he going to make lots of dad jokes? And then am I going to have to pretend to be impressed? And then hopefully I kind of subvert their expectations."
Where's your bow tie?
Yeah.
My spinning bow tie.
Yeah, come on, you've let the side down a bit.
Yeah, no, it's in the safe back home. Without that, I'm powerless.
Because magic kind of suffered a bit. I've always loved magic since Paul Daniels. Paul Daniels is one of the greatest magicians. I know he's a bit of a numpty, but in the 70s and the 80s, man, he owned Saturday night television. You know, Paul Daniels' magic show was the thing to watch. And then magicians kind of suffered. And then a couple of years ago, it kind of got hip again, didn't it? Because there was that Penn and Teller show. But then there was that weird thing with Lenny Henry on BBC.
That was awful.
It was a stinker, wasn't it, unfortunately?
I probably shouldn't say that because there's lots of people that work in magic that
but it was a weird thing to get Lenny Henry to Lenny Henry to host it. I'm not a fan of. He's going to be knighted soon. Did you hear this? It's going to be Sir Lenny Henry.
It's about time, Iain.
And then weird celebrities sort of learning magic, but not really learning magic. They were stood there while magicians did magic. It was a real waste of an art form.
A waste of an evening.
It was. But it's kind of got a bit cool again, has it?
Yeah, I guess so. So you had Dynamo, and you still have Dynamo.
You can speak his name without spitting or swearing.
No, I like Dynamo. Yeah,
he's good, isn't he?
He's actually I'm friends with him. I would say.
Now, you would say? Would he say that you were friends?
Yeah, I mean, I don't. You know, he might be like, yeah, we've met a few times.
You follow him on Twitter?
Yeah. Well, no, I did. The first bit of TV I did was a show with Dynamo,
right?
And he's the loveliest guy. So I was in Belfast doing the street magic show, and he'd shot his episode the day before me, and he was in the same hotel as me, and he rang my room, and because I'd seen loads of Dynamo, I'd seen him on Jonathan Ross, I'd seen him on loads of stuff, and my phone rang in my room, and I answered it, like, who's ringing my hotel room? And he was like, hey, all right, is that Pete? Yeah, it's Dynamo. Yeah.
Is he from Liverpool?
Yeah, he's from Liverpool now. It's magic.
You sound like John Lennon.
I know he does actually, but back then he was from Liverpool. No, I don't do accents, but yeah, as you can tell. But anyway, he said in his Bradford accent that he was going to go down to the bar, and so I just hung out with him for a bit there.
Wow.
But yeah, he's a lovely guy, really nice guy, and very good.
Do you know David Copperfield?
I don't know David Copperfield. I haven't met David Blaine either, but I've met pretty much everyone
When
else.
David Blaine stopped being a magician, when he started
doing endurance,
when he started hiding in that box, it's like
he started hiding in that box,
and everyone's waiting for the trick, and the trick was he hid in a box.
Let's all look at David.
To be honest, I wasn't keen on that. But have you seen his most recent special? It was called Real or Magic. He's put spikes through his arm and stuff. But the craziest thing in that is he actually is doing these things. He sticks skewers through his arm and through his hand. It's absolutely incredible. It's worth watching. It's probably the best.
I'll tell you a film I saw the other day that's not very good. Amazon making us lower our standards since 2012. That film with Steve Carell, Burt Wonderstone.
Oh yeah,
where he plays a magician. It starts off really funny. It's him and Steve Buscemi as these kind of magicians, and there's a brilliant part in it by Jim Carrey as that kind of magician who like cuts his face open and he's got a card hidden in his cheek and stuff like that.
Drill into his own head or something. Yeah, that's
it's that kind of stuff.
Yeah, he's parodying Chris Angel. Have you ever seen it? It's a
No.
guy. American guy's this sort of super goth, but not really because he's too muscly and sort of he's like an extreme sports goth. Anyway, he's hi Chris. I'm gonna get lots of work in LA now. Basically he's this sort of extreme American magician.
He magic to marry Pamela Anderson as well, didn't he?
Was that him?
Yeah, I think it was.
Oh, really? Wow, yeah.
Best magician of all time?
Yeah.
Best magician of all time?
I love Darren Brown, and people listening will be like, he's not a magician, he's a psychological illusionist. But basically there's a big crossover.
It's all tied in, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's all magic. This is the thing that annoys me about Darren Brown, and he's brilliant, and I've met Darren, and he's a lovely bloke, but it's all magic. It's all tricks.
He keeps saying his thing is saying it's a trick, but you still think it's magic.
I would have to say Ali Bongo. Do you remember Ali Bongo?
I do remember Ali Bongo. I met him actually. He's lovely.
I met him years ago, he's such a nice. He did all the Paul Daniels tricks. He wrote all the Paul Daniels shows and did all of that.
Yeah, he was his consultant.
Old school. He was like this old guy, and he wore like a turban. And
he died a few years ago. Actually, about 2 years ago. But lovely guy.
We've been playing lock poker.
What is this? Have we got time to explain, or do I just nod and smile?
We just had to. Let's get Kelly to explain it. Kelly, could you explain lock poker, please?
Just got to say a word with lock in it, but it can't be one that's been said before.
But it can't be clock. It's got to be a different type of lock, like Goldilocks, deadlock, gridlock,
deadlock.
Jay's in Biggleswade. Morning, Jay.
Good morning.
You want to take lock poker to the next level?
Oh yes, I've got 3 for you.
Oh,
so you can have one each.
Go on then, fella. What have you got?
We've got cabinet lock.
What?
Cabinet lock. So you know the filing cabinets, the lock for that.
Well,
I'm not having that, and it's not even my show.
Well, that's kind of like door lock, though, isn't it?
Hotel room lock.
No,
because you could just say different kind of doors. All right, all right. Let's park that one. Let's hope number 2's better, Jay.
Combination lock.
Okay.
I'm going to give you that. I'm going to give you that. Even Grumpy Pete Heat can.
Because that's a species of lock.
That's a species. Have you got any other species of lock?
I've got one more that's going to completely finish the game because it beats all other locks.
Go on.
Locksmith.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, the locksmith. That gets a round of applause. Well done, Jay. Thank you very much. Well, I'm not going with the... What was it? Cabinet lock? No.
Come on, man.
Neil, can you beat that?
I think I can, yeah.
Go on.
It's a device used in drag racing to hold a vehicle still during a smoky burnout. And it's called a line lock.
You don't want a smoky burnout.
Well, wasn't that your nickname at school, Pete? Smoky Burnouts?
You always have this thing that I'm a smoker, stoner, but I'm not. I assure you. Although I do have slightly long hair and a goofy grin, perhaps.
Neil, thank you very much indeed. Rosie's on the line. Good morning, Rosie.
Good morning.
Hey, Rosie.
Yeah.
We got a magician here. Is this Rosie? Rosie.
Ribena Rosie, isn't it?
Ribena Rosie.
Rosie, why don't you tell Pete what your granddad invented?
Ribena.
Yeah, her granddad actually invented Ribena.
I can't compete with that.
You can't, can you? I love you, Rosie, and it's always good to hear from you. What's your lock?
I've got 3 as well.
Oh, go on then.
And they're not all types of lock, though.
Yeah.
Okay, the first one is hemlock.
Had that.
Plant, isn't it?
Had that.
What? My husband said you hadn't.
Yeah, well, your husband's a liar. Don't blame your husband, Rosie. You phoned up. You're on the air. You've got to take the bullet.
I think you're out.
No,
no, don't tap me out.
I've got a great one.
No, this one is better.
Go on.
It's a Shakespearean merchant, Shylock.
Oi, we'll have that. Yes.
And coming forward in time to Made in Chelsea, Proudlock.
Proudlock.
I don't know what that means.
He's a right... Yeah. No, he's a valid character.
Okay, Rosie, tainted slightly by the hemlock, I'm afraid.
Oh.
Blame your husband. Kelly, you've got one.
Childlock.
Yeah.
Travel news for beds, cards, and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
On the M11, two wheels are in the road on the M11 southbound between junction 9 for Saffron Walden and 8 for Bishop Stortford, so that's causing some delays and police are warning to approach it with care. On the A1M, that's looking really slow southbound between junction 8 for Hitchin and 7 for Stevenage, and on the M1 it's busy southbound around junction 10 for the Luton Airport Spur Road. On the M25 there are still delays between junction 19 for Watford and 16 for the M40, and in St Neots on the A1 that's still looking very slow southbound approaching the Black Cat roundabout from the Great North Road. There's no reports of any problems on the train departure boards. Samantha Brook, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Local and vocal across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
It's 8 o'clock. I'm Simon Oxley. The headlines: carers say their own health is getting worse. 2 major fires in Milton Keynes and 8,000 jobs to go at HSBC.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Carers in Beds, Hearts and Bucks say their own health has deteriorated since starting their role. In a survey conducted by national charity Carers UK, almost 80% of carers across the east of England said that caring had made their health worse. Maria Butcher is a carer from Hertfordshire who looks after her husband.
You don't ask to do this role. It is something that happens to you, and obviously you love the person in your life and you want to do everything you can. But we're only human, and we do have, we have limitations.
Firefighters in Milton Keynes tackled 2 major incidents last night. 30 firefighters were called to a fire in a 4th-floor flat in Wolverton just after 11:30. An investigation will take place today. That followed a major blaze at a building site in Oak Grove, which started just before 5 p.m. 40 firefighters dealt with a 4-storey timber frame of a new development of flats, which was destroyed. HSBC has announced it's cutting 8,000 jobs in the UK with some branch closures. Another 12,000 jobs will go around the world in an attempt to reduce costs. Here's the BBC's business editor, Kamal Ahmed.
HSBC has revealed that its UK operations will be hit hard as it battles to find over £3.2 billion of cost savings. 8,000 jobs, that's 1 in 6 of the total, will go in Britain across its retail and investment bank. HSBC presently employs 48,000 people in the UK. Some branches could close. Stuart Gulliver, the bank's chief executive, said that it was time to recognise that the world had changed and that growth in Asia had to be the new focus.
A 5-year-old boy is in a life-threatening condition in hospital after a collision with a car in Milton Keynes. It happened in Monkston on Sunday afternoon. The car driver suffered serious injuries after crashing into a tree on the A6 in Bedfordshire yesterday evening. It happened on the southbound carriageway at Wilstead at 6 p.m. MPs will vote on the legislation paving the way for a referendum on Britain's membership of the EU in the House of Commons later today. The bill will provide the legal basis for the poll to be held by the end of 2017. Labour and the Lib Dems say they now support the referendum in principle, but the SNP oppose it. A homeless shelter in Bletchley has been shut down by Milton Keynes Council, with the future of 4 more unclear. St Mungo's housed vulnerable 16 to 21-year-olds, but residents have complained of antisocial behaviour problems. Nigel Long is Labour councillor for Bletchley West.
We listened to the residents and we've now closed that down.
And what that means is that St Mungo's now have only 4 other hostels in the city. And we're actually concerned about those hostels as well, because we don't think this is the way to deal with young homeless people.
Britain's largest cancer charity has criticised plans by the Welsh Government to ban the use of e-cigarettes in enclosed public places. Cancer Research UK says there's no scientific basis for the ban, warning it could undermine attempts to help people give up tobacco. In sport, England's women begin their World Cup campaign this evening against France in Canada. The weather dry with sunny spells, a maximum temperature 16 degrees Celsius, and you can get the latest news and sport online at bbc.co.uk/3counties.
Thank you, Simon. Oh, I think I had travel open all the way through that. I do apologise. Lots coming up. We're going to have another trick from Pete. We're also going to film him as well, because it's a shame Justin Dealey isn't here. It would blow his tiny mind.
Across beds.
Oh, man.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
All right, we'll have a little bit more magic in about 10 minutes. Before that, though, proposals to ban e-cigarettes in public places in Wales are being discussed today. The Public Health Bill seeks restrictions on the use of e-cigs in enclosed public and workplaces, bringing their use into line with the existing smoking laws. Wales will be the first part of the UK to introduce such legislation, which, if introduced in this country, could spell the end of vape cafes, such as the one in Ampthill. Well, I'm joined now by Dr. Joat Snarvora, who is Cancer Research UK's Head of Policy Research for Cancer Prevention. Good morning, Doctor.
Good morning.
Thank you very much for joining us. What do you think about banning e-cigarettes in public?
Well, at Cancer Research UK, we think that there isn't enough evidence to really warrant banning the use of e-cigarettes indoors. We think there is a large body of evidence that shows that you shouldn't be smoking normal cigarettes indoors and the problems around that, but we don't think there's the same body of evidence for e-cigarettes at the moment.
We don't quite know what e-cigarettes do yet, though, do we?
No, we don't, and we do encourage peer review evidence at the moment, and there's a lot of research being done to look at what e-cigarettes do and how they work. But what we do know is that they're far safer than normal cigarettes.
OK. Is it not better in these situations to err on the side of caution?
Well, there's a lot of research being done at the moment, and at the moment nothing seems to show that they are as dangerous as normal cigarettes. And what they are really beneficial as is an aid to stop smoking, and that's what we really want to do.
What about the study I read last week that said more young people are taking up smoking proper fags because they've started on e-cigarettes and they're then moving up?
The evidence doesn't really show that is happening. There's less than 1% of children who've never smoked have actually tried e-cigarettes, and none of them seem to be using it long term. So there doesn't seem to be any evidence that shows that young people are taking up smoking as a result.
I tell you the problem I have with e-cigarettes, this is one of my many beefs with it, is it does normalise addiction, doesn't it?
Well, that's another study that has actually been done, and there's no evidence to show that it is renormalising cigarettes.
No, that's not what I said. I said it normalises addiction.
There's no evidence to show that people are becoming addicted to e-cigarettes either.
Well, no, but it's nicotine. It's an addictive drug, and it's normalising the ingestion. OK, if you want to argue the point about normalising addiction, it's normalising the ingestion of nicotine, and I don't want that for my kids.
Well, there's no evidence to show that it is renormalising that sort of behaviour.
No, evidence or not, it is, because you see people in restaurants, you see people in cafes, you see people in all kinds of places puffing away on something. So my boys, who are 5 and 3 and are curious, are going to go, Daddy, what's that? It looks normal to them.
At the moment, there's no evidence to show.
No. Let's forget evidence. The evidence is it looks normal. To see it walking... Forget studies, forget statistics. Let's speak human to human. You see somebody walking down the street puffing on an e-cigarette. You see someone in a restaurant puffing on an e-cigarette. That's normalising behaviour. You're seeing it in a normal environment. And I don't want my kids to see that.
I think at the moment we have to go with what we know, and e-cigarettes are effective as an aid to quit smoking. And what we
why are you ignoring that point? Sorry, Jo, I wonder why you're ignoring that point.
I'm trying not to ignore the point. I'm just trying to explain what we're hoping that e-cigarettes will do is reduce the number of normal smokers, which kills 2/3 of normal smokers. Okay. And we really do want to cut down on that.
And you're happy then with young people being exposed to the normalisation?
Well, at CRUK we do believe in light touch regulations, and we're hoping that there are some marketing restrictions, etc., around e-cigarettes. But at the moment, we don't think they should be banned in public places.
Okay, but so you're just to clarify. Sorry, you're comfortable with kids seeing people doing that in the street and it being normalised?
At the moment, there's no evidence to show that it is being normalised.
No. There's been no survey that's been conducted, but that's obvious, isn't it? It's obvious. You see people drinking coffee. Coffee's been normalised. You see people smoking e-cigarettes. It's being normalised. Young kids are growing up and seeing that in normal situations. That's what normalised means.
They are seeing it, but there's no evidence to show that's having a knock-on effect to make them take up the habit, as it were. There is no evidence. That's not what I'm saying. I don't know why are you so obsessed with evidence and not common sense? Well, evidence starts with common sense, and it's peer-reviewed evidence, and that's what actually shows what happens. It shows the knock-on effect.
Gosh, that's a really... well, OK, let's bring in Robin Ireland, Chief Exec of the Health Equalities Group. Morning, Robin.
Morning.
What are your thoughts on what's being said?
A lot of discussion about statistics and evidence, isn't there? I mean, and that's the trouble to a certain extent. We don't have all the evidence yet, and I find myself generally taking the same position that you do, that I am concerned about potential normalisation. I also, though, want to make the point very strongly that if electronic cigarettes are helping individuals to give up smoking, please try them. That's absolutely fine. The key thing that we'd obviously agree on is that it's important to get people off tobacco cigarettes. That's incredibly important. If e-cigarettes are doing that, please use them. But yes, I would support them not being used in enclosed places.
Why is that, Robin?
They're normalising.
The normalisation to one side, because as we know, there's no evidence to support that, Robin. We also don't have any evidence that e-cigarettes are harmful. So what is the problem with people using them in restaurants and workplaces?
Well, I know you don't want to get too much down the conversation. You don't want to go too far down the stage. Can I just say one thing, though?
Yeah, go on.
One thing that was said before, which is generally what is coming out in evidence at the moment, is at the moment it's showing that very low numbers of young people are going from electronic cigarettes to tobacco cigarettes. I think the figure quoted before was just below 1%. I mean, the jury is out. It's still early to say. But for what it's worth, I think 1% is a heck of a lot. You can't just underestimate young people who are using electronic cigarettes as a gateway to tobacco cigarettes, when we spent years trying to reduce the number of people taking up smoking. Anything that introduces young people to cigarette smokes, normal tobacco cigarettes, is a real concern to me. So let's not be too, worried. Low numbers, yes, maybe at the moment, but we just don't know. So I just wanted to just pick that up because, sometimes we can be a little bit dismissive sometimes with low numbers.
Doctor, we're being too dismissive of low numbers.
As I said, we're carrying on with the evidence, and we will keep looking into e-cigarettes and making sure that we do build up this evidence and build up our knowledge of it. But at the moment, the numbers are very low, and we're very happy that they actually
But Robin is suggesting that we shouldn't be ignoring those low figures of young people that take up smoking because of these e-cigarettes. It may be low, but I mean, but you say it's 1%. What is that in real numbers? 100, 1,000? 100,000? You don't know, do you? No, exactly. And so that's the point. If it's one kid, fair play. If it's 100,000 kids, if it's 1 million kids, well, then that's significant, isn't it?
Well, anyone smoking is one too many, and we are trying to reduce that number completely, and we are looking into this, but we need to have the increasing evidence around e-cigarettes, which is what we're really advocating.
Robin? What would your response be?
I think that we need to be very, very careful with electronic cigarettes. The way they're being promoted is very clearly aimed at young people, the different flavours that are being made, the kind of advertising campaign that's going on. It's very clear that tobacco companies and electronic cigarette companies are using them to recruit a new market. That's what you'd expect them to do. So we need to be very careful. You said before, the words I would use is we need to be very cautionary. We don't know yet, and that we definitely agree on. We don't have all the evidence yet. I think we need to be cautious for the time being.
All right, listen, I appreciate your time, both of you. Thank you. That's Robin Ireland, Chief Exec of the Health Equalities Group. And the other voice there was Dr. Joat Snarvora, who is Cancer Research UK's Head of Policy Research for the Centre for Cancer Prevention, and also is excellent at reading press releases.
On FM, AM, online and digital radio.
This is Iain Lee.
On BBC Three Counties Radio.
That was frustrating. Pete Hathaway is here. What's the website again, Pete, if people want to come and book your evil services?
Right, evil services can be obtained at peteheat.co.uk. So it's heat as in H-E-A-T, as in hot things.
What other way is there to spell heat? That's a weird thing to say.
Well, for example, Pete is spelled P-E-T-E. Heat rhymes with Pete and could conceivably be spelled H-E-T-E. Surnames don't always have to make sense in the same way that normal words do.
Fair play, you've got me there. Actually, you're absolutely spot on. Catherine's joined us back in the studio. This is your last trick.
Yeah.
This building can only withstand so much evil. I think did you just film something with Kelly for Justin?
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
all right, we're definitely going to get you back one day and send you out on the street with Justin. This is your last trick for us today. Go on. What have you got?
So I'll show you one more thing.
Yeah.
All right. What should we do? In fact, can I try this with you again, Catherine?
Yeah. Because I'm the soft one.
Is she an easy target?
If I shuffle through the pack.
Yeah.
Pack of cards.
Can you... Yes, I've pack of cards, sorry. I've got to do this for the radio.
It's for the radio.
Radio really isn't the medium for this, is it?
No.
I'm going to shuffle through this pack of cards. I want you to just say stop anywhere you want as they go by. And I'm doing it slowly so you've got lots of control. Ooh,
Stop.
She really held on
Full
there.
of your tricks this time, Mr. Heat.
All right, have a look at it.
Yeah.
Okay. In fact, I'll tell you what. We're gonna mark your card. I'm gonna even look at it. That's fine. 8 of spades. You stopped on. Okay.
Well, that's not a trick, mate. You just looked at it.
That is correct. That's not the trick.
Well, are we supposed to applaud that?
You're not supposed to applaud that. But you stopped me on the 8 of spades.
Yeah.
I'm going to mark your card so that it's easy to find. No, I'm not going to use a penny, but thank you for helpfully handing me one. I'm actually going to mark in a really obvious way. I'm actually going to rip it. You can hopefully hear that on the mic there.
Corner's off.
So I've ripped the corner off. Watch the corner. Look. Watch.
Okay. He's put it in his hand. Okay. He's got the card in his mouth.
Oh!
It's gone. The corner's gone.
The corner's disappeared. Catherine, can you take off your headphones?
Oh, I wonder where that was going. I've been trying to get her to take her headphones off for years.
Okay. In the headphones, do these little covers, do they come off? Can you take that off?
Kind of cloth covers on the headphones.
Oh, hold on. Let's see. Is that?
There we go.
He's breaking the headphones.
I'm breaking the headphones. Maybe it's this one. Who knows? Who knows how these things work?
It's in there!
Oh, it's in there. It's worked.
Is it under the cover of the headphones?
That is bonkers.
That, as you've just heard, are quite tricky to take off. Is that it?
Is that? Check it matches.
It's on.
Is that
my
it?
goodness, Oh my goodness.
Mate, you're bang out of order. that is out of order. That is fantastic, Pete. I mean, it's got to be said, mate. We don't like spontaneous rounds of applause on the radio. It sounds a little bit Steve Wright, but you've deserved that.
Oh, thank you.
How did you do that?
Magic. Exactly.
Pete, your gigs and stuff will be on your website, won't they? If people want to find them.
Yeah, or Twitter's probably a good way to keep track of actual live dates because I do, I tweet about it. Also,
Pete Heat.
At Pete Heat. I'm on Facebook, just Pete Heat.
How did you do that? You had to rip the thing to get it open.
That is messed up. That is messed up.
I did actually slightly rip the
It's all right, we're moving.
It doesn't matter. I'm going to do a wee-wee on this desk on the last day. At Pete Heat on Twitter if you want to follow him. Pete, God bless you.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
On the M11, there are delays southbound between junction 9 for Saffron Walden and 8 for Bishop Stortford because there are 2 wheels in the road, so police are saying to approach that with care. On the A1M southbound, it's really slow between junction 8 for Hitchin and 7 for Stevenage, and the M1 is slow southbound around junction 10 for Luton Airport. On the A1, it's looking busy southbound from the St Neots junction towards the Black Cat roundabout, and it's also slow into High Wycombe on the A404 around in both directions at Amersham Hill. On the train departure boards, though, there are no delays showing up at the moment. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
See you later, Pete. Ta-ta. Bye-bye. You have to duck to get through the door. You've got to respect that. Oh, I've got such a nervous feeling in my stomach. Not because of the magic, it's because JVS is coming in next. Oh, dear. Right, it's 8:16. It's Tuesday. It's the 9th of June. I'm Iain Lee. These are your headlines on BBC Three Counties Radio. Carers in beds, Herts and Bucks say their own health has deteriorated since starting their role. Firefighters in Milton Keynes tackled 2 major incidents last night. A fire on a 4th-floor flat in Wolverton followed a major blaze at a building site in Oak Grove. And HSBC is planning to cut 8,000 jobs in the UK with some branch closures.
Three Counties Radio.
Do you believe in magic?
Yes, I do.
Oh.
I believe in magic, yes. The power of magic.
Oh, man, that was freaky what just happened there.
Really?
He came in and did some spooky stuff.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, it's a shame Justin isn't here, because Justin is bemused by doesn't get the fly away Peter, fly away Paul. Any parents out there will know that trick. He doesn't get it. How'd you do that, Geese? I think I've worked it out. You're sticking it to the back of your head. So Pete just did an amazing trick where he had some lottery tickets and he went like that, flapped them, and they became £20 notes. £20.
In front of your very eyes?
In front of my very eyes. Is that the trick that we filmed? We'll show you the video. It's amazing. Amazing! Speaking of amazing, your show.
Oh,
that's called a segue. I've been practicing.
That was lovely.
I've been listening to a lot of Wally and practicing.
Very nice. Wally Webb.
Yeah,
I love Wally Webb.
Oh, okay.
I love him.
He's, yeah.
First thing when I get up, I'm feeding my dog. Yeah. Wally's on.
Well, let's have a listen to what is my mystery letters.
I'll tell you what I like about Wally Webb.
Yes.
Somebody on the radio at that time of the morning, they have to be just the right side of bonkers.
Yo,
do you know what I mean?
Yes.
A bit like Sarah Kennedy, when Sarah Kennedy used to be on radio too.
She bonkers, was she? Is that what we call it these days?
She was just the right side of bonkers.
Just sometimes. Sometimes she crossed.
And I like the fact that Wally, likewise, is just a little bit bonkers.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And so much nicer than some of the nasty, horrible people who are on the radio at that time of the morning.
You
don't need nastiness. You don't need nastiness and catchiness and bullying and horrible aggression and things like that.
Well, I like Wally.
I like Wally.
You know, I went to Norfolk and went on a training course with Wally, who was sitting next to me.
Have you seen the picture? There's a very weird picture, and I think it was Lee Agnew who had it on his phone, of Wally Webb dressed up as Where's Wally. You know the Where's Wally character? With Wally Webb dressed up as Where's Wally. I wonder if it's on the internet.
You know Alan Partridge was based on Wally Webb, don't you?
Yeah, I know. It's great, isn't it? Whenever he's filming something,
to fame.
Whenever he's filming anything, he invites Wally down to have a little Wally Webb as Where's Wally. Let's see if...
It's hilarious.
Oh, no,
you must, ladies and gentlemen, if you've never heard Wally Webb, get up early tomorrow. He's absolutely bonkers.
Oh, there's Wally Webb with Alan Partridge, but there's not the picture of him as dressed up as Where's Wally. Get Lee Agnew to show it to you, because it's brilliant. Right, what's on your show this morning, boss?
Coming up on the Big Phone In this morning from 9, is it stupid to let people drink when they're travelling by plane? Police were called to Luton Airport this weekend to meet a flight from Turkey as the model Kate Moss had been very disruptive during the flight. Eyewitnesses claim the model was denied alcohol during the flight and instead produced a bottle of her own vodka before calling the captain a basic B, B being the word for a female dog.
Yes.
Earlier this year, the body who represent UK Airlines called for tougher rules to govern those who want to drink whilst travelling by plane. And of the 114 cases of flight disruption recorded by the Civil Aviation Authority last year, the majority were alcohol-related. So this morning from 9, I want your views and your experiences as well. Is it stupid to let people drink when they're travelling by plane? Last year, I flew to Amsterdam. I was going over to visit my family over there, and I got one of the very early in the morning flights over to Amsterdam.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there on the plane, and, you know, it's early in the morning. I, like most people on that plane, were tired, half asleep still, just wanted to have a nice quiet journey, maybe get some sleep.
Yeah, that's what most people want on a flight to Amsterdam, yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the 10 or so chaps who got on the plane and sat directly behind me had other ideas. They'd obviously decided to arrive at the airport a little earlier, got one or two bevies in, and then thought it would be absolutely hilarious to have a who can do the loudest burp competition on the plane.
Did you win?
For the majority of the flight. It was absolutely disgusting. And, of course, they were drunk. They were just the fumes from their horrible beery breath coming through the chairs. It was just awful.
We have family that have got property on one of the Greek islands.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Well, they're Greek. they're Greek, so it's not quite so impressive. So we go and stay there every year for a couple of weeks. And I tend to fly out separately from the family, and I get an early flight. I like to get an early flight. Let's just get there. Let's just get it sorted. Let's get a full day. And you have to fly with EasyJet. I'm not saying they particularly attract a kind of person, but they tend to. It's basically stags and hens going out there. And they are rip-roaring drunk at 5:30 in the morning, and I always have my hat down and because if they recognise me from being on the telly years ago, I'm a dead man. The whole flight is a load of drunk horrible people, just shouting at me. Oh, it's awful.
But the thing is, when you break it down, isn't it a bit bonkers? You arrive at an airport.
Yeah.
There are bars, restaurants, pubs.
It's a timeless zone, isn't it? Once you enter
that serve all this alcohol.
Yeah.
And then you get on a little capsule.
Yeah.
Where they serve more alcohol and fly through the air.
And the higher you get, the boozier you get.
I mean, when you break it down, it's fairly stupid, isn't it, that we make it so accessible? There's duty-free shops selling bottles of vodka, for example, that people can buy and then consume.
Yes.
It's absolutely mad. Well, from 9 this morning, I'd like your reaction to this. Is it stupid to let people drink when they're travelling by plane? Maybe you feel it's one of life's rare pleasures to have a couple of Pinot Grigios before your flight. From 9 this morning, your call 08459 455 555.
On Tuesday, the 16th of June, our phone number is changing.
Hello, thanks for calling BBC Three Counties Radio.
From midday on that day, you'll have to dial 03459 455 555 to take part in the phone-in.
The damage is all my responsibility.
Get your questions answered by Nick's experts.
Can you just protect against parvo then?
Chat to Ian.
Matt's on the line. Morning, Matt.
Hello.
Oh, blimey, is this Matt?
Or to me.
Hi, Roberto, you right?
It's still a local rate call, and in a lot of cases, 03 numbers are part of your inclusive calls on your mobile. So remember, from Tuesday the 16th of June at midday, you need to dial 03459 455 555 to stay in touch with BBC Three Counties Radio.
Steve Boothby on Facebook having another go at me. Steve, just calm down, dude. If you're going to post in a public forum with your name, then, it's going to get mentioned. It's a public forum, mate. Just calm down. You're not on the show. You don't have to listen. It's absolutely fine, fella. But I appreciate you listening. Thank you very much indeed. Do you know what? We haven't done any texts. We'll do some texts in a bit. Very unusual show today, but I've enjoyed it nonetheless. 08459 455 555 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. You can give us a text and we'll rattle through those in a bit. 81333. Start your text 3CR. You can, of course, always email me, ian.lee@bbc.co.uk. And I should just mention, I know we're getting loads and loads of new listeners. If you can't listen to the whole show, don't panic. Don't panic, Mr. Mannering. You can listen again on iPlayer. Or you can download the podcast. Every week, Kelly puts together a best of podcast. It's about an hour long. We managed to scrape together about an hour. And we put it out and we record extra little bits that we don't put in the show as well. So there's bonus material. So if you think you've heard it all, then you haven't. And you can get that by going to the Three Counties website. Or if you go to iTunes and type in Iain Lee, IAIN.LEE, and BBC, then it pops up and you can have it delivered to your computer or whatnot. It's very popular. Thank you very much indeed. It's appreciated that you'd bother to listen to all of that stuff. Do you notice how we've managed to avoid doing the papers today? Primarily because there ain't nothing in the papers. There ain't nothing in the papers. It's a really, really quiet day. There's nothing going on whatsoever. The best thing in the papers... Where's the sun? Hang on a second. Where's the sun? Ah, dearie me. This is the best story in the newspapers. Are you ready? Firefighters were called to free a woman's finger from her toaster in Hawley, Surrey. That's it! Hey, thanks, player.
Gangster.
Bonus! Cough, cough!
No.
Naughty knots!
Nice podcast style, mate.
Thank you, mate. And great work putting the podcast together.
Thanks, Claire.
You're so welcome. Naughty. Firefighters were called to free a woman's finger from her toaster in Hawley, Surrey. What were her fingers doing in the toaster? Why did the firemen have to go? Why is that even in a newspaper? And then why is the BBC talking about it? Why is the BBC talking about it? That's the best story in the papers. Apart from this one, this is quite a good one. John, 74, to wed son's ex-wife, 36. A wife split from her hubby after 8 months and is marrying his 74-year-old dad, who's more than twice her age. Now, I'm not convinced I believe this story Because when you see, I mean, Jason, who's the son, he looks like Jason Statham. He looks a bit of a hunk. John, his dad, looks like who was the fella? Seth Armstrong from Emmerdale. He looks like Seth Armstrong, doesn't he? But with less teeth.
He does a bit, yeah.
He does. John Harwood's son Jason, 35, sobbed yesterday as he accused his old man of trying to keep the engagement secret, saying it's sickening. Well, he's not kept it that secret. He posted it on Facebook. I'm going to do these two after 8:30. Sorry, Kels. I'm going to do these after 8:30 so that Phil and Jim get fair crack of the whip. He also blasted his ex-missus, Lisa. She was 21 when she walked... what? 36. This is very complicated. I'm glad my life's not this complicated. She was 21 when she walked out on him after he kicked his dad out of the house the three were sharing. Jobless Jason, who at the time suspected the pair were at it, said, "She's going from my ex-wife to my stepmum." Oh, that has got to smart, hasn't it? What they are doing is wrong. There's nearly 40 years between them. Wrong number. Sorry? Wrong number.
No, Kelly's saying it wasn't connecting. It was connecting to the wrong bloke.
Wrong number.
The wrong man.
We heard you.
I know. Wrong number.
Wrong number. I'm trying to work out that... All right, then it gets more complicated. His mum, Sharon, lives 200 yards from the Grimsby flat of the trucker she divorced 30 years ago. So he likes them younger. So she's 20 years younger. Huh? I was a lot younger than him then. Now he's doing it again. I'm disgusted. Blimey, aren't some people's lives complicated?
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
In Stanbridge on the A505, there's been an accident involving 3 vehicles at Stanbridge Road, which has partially blocked it in both directions. On the A1, it's busy southbound from the St Neots Junction towards the Black Cat roundabout, and it's also very slow on the A1M southbound between junction 8 for Hitchin and 7 for Stevenage. The M25 anti-clockwise is slow from junction 17 for Maple Cross to 16 for the M40. No reports of any problems on the train departure boards, though. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Across beds, hearts and bugs.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
It's 8:30. I'm Simon Oxley. Police have launched a murder investigation following the death of a man in Milton Keynes. Police were called to a flat in Wolverton at around 11:40 last night following reports of a fire. A man believed to be aged in his 30s was found dead at the scene. A 25-year-old man has been arrested on suspicion of murder and is currently in custody. Carers in Beds, Herts and Bucks say their own health has deteriorated since starting their role. HSBC is planning to cut 8,000 jobs in the UK with some branch closures, and a homeless shelter in Bletchley has been shut down by Milton Keynes Council, with the future of 4 more unclear.
Three Counties Sports.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
England begin their Women's World Cup campaign this evening against France in Canada. Aylesbury's Ellen White could feature for England. France knocked England out at the quarter-final stage 4 years ago in a penalty shootout. Here's England captain Steph Houghton.
I like to think that the girls that were involved in 2011 and playing against France, who were a top team, that were able to use it as a little bit of incentive. But in terms of discussing and trying to put things right, it's all about us. We're a new team now, we're under new management, and we've spent the last 18 months working hard to be in this position, and being a part of a World Cup and being able to play for your country is a massive honour, and we can't wait.
The new Stevenage assistant manager Kevin Watson says they will try and play a different style of football next season. Watson will work alongside new boss Teddy Sheringham when the squad return to training.
Yes, it is difficult at times to play the way we want to play, which will be to get it out from the back, to pass and play through midfield, which is the way Teddy used to play, and most certainly the way I used to play as a midfielder. But we're not stupid. That's the way we want to play. But we know there are going to be games where it's horrible, windy, bobbly days, pitches are not great, and you might have to slightly go away from that.
England's cricketers start their 5-match one-day series against New Zealand at Edgbaston today. England captain Owen Morgan wants to bounce back from their World Cup failure.
One lesson from the World Cup, and probably the only
good lesson is that things have to change and we have to do things differently, and this is the start of that process. Opportunities will fall to guys who probably have deserved them over the last 6 months, a year, and haven't been rewarded for that. So with that, we've selected guys who do things differently.
BBC Three Counties News and Sport. The next full bulletin is at 9.
Was a wealthy man who had a wonderful idea to bring children from all places with all kinds of faces together into a sailing ship. There were 40 boys and girls. They would sail their ship around the globe, so they called it the United World. The ship was just 3 weeks from shore when a hurricane bore it down. The waves were big as mountains. They felt they would surely drown. They jumped into the lifeboats, rowed away from the wreck. They didn't count them, they hadn't time. 5 children were left behind. The children fought the storm all night, then finally fell asleep. They didn't realize the ship had been blown across a reef into the lost islands. Hiding in the bushes was a watchful pair of eyes, and living in the valley were people lost in time, ruled over by a tyrant whose face was in a mask. The children must defeat him so they can escape at last from the lost islands. The lost islands.
Jim.
Morning.
Morning, Jim. What have you got for us, Bart?
Yeah.
Hello, Jim.
I've got 5 locks.
Flipping heck, mate. Well, okay, now listen. We've been playing lock poker. 5 locks is a lot of locks. Now I'm gonna say it, Jim. I think you're bluffing. I think you got poker eyes.
It's
Now,
going to definitely double lockers at some point.
if one of these locks is a double lock that's been mentioned before or doesn't exist, I'm cutting you off immediately.
Right.
Okay. Are you ready?
Right. Yeah.
Jim, let's have lock number 1.
Lockjaw.
What did you say?
Lockjaw.
Jaw.
Goodbye, Jim. Thanks for calling.
I mean...
I thought I heard something completely different.
Oh.
Yeah, I did. Sorry, I'm sorry. Them's the rules. Them's the rules, guys. We play by the rules, and that's how we do it. 08459 455 555. Have we got any texts before we crack on with
Yes,
this?
we have.
Go on.
A lot of them commenting on Nigel Long's comments earlier on when we were talking about the closure of the shelter in Milton Keynes.
So much has happened. I'd completely forgotten about that. I'd completely forgotten. Incredible.
Nigel Long came on and said that he doesn't like shelters and that they're encouraging people to go back home to their families.
Yeah,
young
but
people.
Young people who, for whatever reason, can't live at home should go and live at home or go and rent a property, because that's easy to do these days, isn't it?
Rebecca in Bedford, I'm gobsmacked by Nigel's
claim to be
opinions.
a socialist as well.
He says, how awful to have such a naive perspective in a potentially influential position. I worked with young people for 15 years and there's some horrific reasons behind their choice to leave home. Mediation between parents and young people can work, but my goodness, it's not the answer for every case, far from it. Here's an idea. Let's reinstate all the children's services that have been cut in the last 5 years and see if that makes a difference.
Do you know what I'd love to do, actually? Because I was so thrown by Nigel's comments that it caught me off guard a little bit. I would love to, at some point in the future, get Nigel on and someone who works directly. I know Nigel said he did, but someone who works at one of these hostels.
But what about Hugh from the Orbit Hostel?
I can't remember him off the top of my
he was
head.
quite
Okay,
good.
well, it'd be good to hear those two discuss their different views on why young people are homeless and what the solution might be. Yeah, we'll sort that out at some point. All right.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Any more texts?
Yeah, Marcia says, Nigel's out of touch. Many very out-of-order parents will smile sweetly when an authority figure turns up on the door. I'm a teacher and I know what goes on. Abusive parents don't usually admit their abuse.
Abuse is one of the issues. And, you know, if you're being abused by a parent and you can't live there, you're not necessarily going to come and go, hey, guys, I can't live there. They're doing awful things to me. You tend to keep it under wraps. But also sometimes it's intolerable living with your parents, whether it be physical abuse or mental abuse or a complete breakdown in relationship.
We're not just talking about teenagers falling out with their mum and dad, you know, and then making it up 2 days later, are we? It's got to be something terrible.
Look, can I break it down into a way that's obvious for you? And I don't mean this to sound flippant, although it will. Have you never read Cinderella? Do you know what I mean? You know, sometimes relationships with parents or step-parents breaks down and is intolerable. We'll come back to more of those in a second. I want to crack on with this, please. We've been talking about carers all morning. You're more likely to see a decline in your own health if you have to look after a loved one. That seems to be the suggestion from a new survey from Carers UK. They found that almost 80% of the 250 people they questioned in the east of England had developed their own problems after taking care of someone else. Well, I'm joined now by the MP for North East Bedfordshire, Alistair Burt, who was also appointed Care Minister last month. Good morning, Alistair.
Good morning, Ian.
These are high figures from Carers UK. It mentions depression, anxiety, physical and mental health conditions. What can be done to protect these people?
Firstly, I think recognising that we have so many carers doing an extraordinary job is really very important. 6.5 million carers all around the country. This is Carers Week, as I know your station has been promoting. So the first thing to say is that their needs have to be recognised too. And last year in the Care Act, what the government did was pass legislation which gave local councils the same responsibility to assess a carer's need as the person who needs caring. That work is now underway. The government gave nearly £500 million to local councils so that they would get this work done. And what that does, in response to the survey and what you mentioned, is at least give carers the chance to explain what they need to a local council, so that their needs for being looked after are recognised as well as those they're caring for.
Carers, and we heard incredible stories today, and everyone will have stories in their family or their friends. Carers obviously save the country billions of pounds. What's the government proposing to do to protect those carers?
Well, as I say, this new duty, which only came in last year, for the first time gave carers rights as well as those that they're being cared for. Now, there is a bargain here. No country can afford to look after everyone who needs caring, and that's why families do it for those that they love. That's why people look after friends and others. And the opportunity to have some form of allowance through carers allowance and this new duty on local councils goes some way towards trying to meet their needs and recognise they need support as well. Also, there's a lot being done in voluntary terms to put carers in touch with each other. If you go to the Carers in Bedfordshire website, for example, this week, you'll see a whole series of events taking place from Anthill through to Shefford throughout the county, where carers are getting together. There's information available about what carers do, because an awful lot of carers get support from other carers, and by sharing things and working more cooperatively increasingly with GP practices, then some more of their needs will be met.
Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned that, because I would imagine. I mean, I've had a brief glimpse when I was kind of caring for my mum a bit. I wasn't completely hands on, but it can be very isolating and very lonely, can't it?
Yes, it can. And carers groups that have set up around the country usually have something to do with extraordinary individuals who pull people together. That was certainly the case with Carers in Bedfordshire, because I've got the honour to be president of Carers in Bedfordshire, and I know what they did to bring people together, to have forums and meetings where people could come and share their stories. And as you say, it can be very isolating if you are looking after someone and you're providing all their care and support, and you may be doing it on your own because that's your family circumstance. Having an opportunity to bring people somewhere together and then share your experiences with others can be very powerful.
It's a big thing. The carers allowance, £62.10 a week, is that going to be protected from the £12 billion welfare cuts?
Well, the mantra always has to be, Ian, that all benefits are constantly reviewed and looked at, but I have not seen anything past my desk to suggest that carers' support is being removed. So that's all I know. And without popping across the road to see Mr. Chancellor of the Exchequer, I can't say anything more at this point.
Send him an email, Alistair. Give him a call.
If it works as well as the telephones work here this morning, it probably won't get through. Your studio has
tell me about it. Because there will be people who are our phones. I don't know what's going on. I think it's because we're moving, Alistair, and the building is starting to give up the ghost. It's very old. There will. I mean, £62.10 a week isn't a lot of money anyway. And if there is a prospect of that being cut, that will put even more pressure on people who, as we've just said, are incredibly pressured as it is.
I can understand that, but the honest answer to you is every day in my office I'm seeing more calls on need and more requests for more money right the way through the system. There is a limit as to what can be provided. That's why we're having to work smarter. There will be 1 million more people in Britain over the age of 70 by 2020, within the next 5 years. Then the ageing population beyond that to 80, can be imagined. Now, this is putting an immense strain on all the services. The truth is, unless we look after each other better, unless we share these things, it cannot all be done from the centre, and with money being provided from the centre, from the NHS or from local councils. We're asking people to work smarter. We are, of course, going through a process now of integrating the social care being provided by the NHS and by local authorities. That's one of my jobs, my roles. I've been to see places where they're beginning to do this. This will share services more effectively. It will reduce costs, and what that means is it makes sure that more money is available to do the sort of jobs that carers are looking for. But I cannot see anything in the future other than a continuing bargain between families and friends and people who care for each other and the state that tries to help where it can.
So there is a chance that the carers allowance might get reduced?
I don't know that at all. I didn't say that.
No, but you're not saying definitely either way. So
no, I can't. I'm not in a position to say either way.
So there is a chance that it might get reduced.
It is exactly the same. You can name me any other single benefit you wanted, and I would have to give you exactly the same answer. So please, it's not fair to play that game, really.
Well,
I don't know the answer to the question, which is why I said what I said.
No, but you understand, Alistair, of course, why I'm asking it is because there will be people who are dependent on that cash and they are concerned. Listen, I really appreciate your time this morning, Alistair. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Thank you very much indeed. MP for North. Oh, I'm having trouble speaking this morning. The MP for North East Bedfordshire, Care Minister Alistair Burt. 08459 455 555 is the telephone number. Should you wish to give us a call about that, 81333. Start your text 3CR. Or ian.lee@bbc.co.uk. I'm sat here. I'm kind of fingering this card. Now, is this clubs or spades?
Clubs.
I never know the difference. I hate...
Spades are pointy.
This is part of the reason why I don't like magicians, is I'm worried they're going to ask me
Kyle,
to
it's
pick...
Catherine at Three Counties.
I'm talking to you, mate. Sorry?
Hello.
Hello, I'm talking to you, yeah.
No, I'm talking to Kyle.
No, I'm talking to you.
Oh, Kyle's gone.
Good, well, good, Kyle, well done. I'm talking to you. I'm not talking to you.
Oh,
it's
can
great
you
to have...
Kyle, because he's just disappeared.
It's great to have you back, by the way.
Now. Thank you, Blair.
I was talking to you, and then who's this Carl fellow you're seeing on the side?
I was on the phone to him.
Hey, on the...
It's only a phone thing.
If you were...
Doesn't count.
In the 70s, right, on CB, I miss CB, if there was a conversation going on and you wanted to join in, do you know what you'd have to say? On the side. No?
Really?
Yeah. Guys?
And people like that, did they?
Yeah. I just feel like I'm on the side, because you and Kyle are obviously... I don't know what you're up to, but...
It's only on the phone, doesn't count.
OK, fine.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
In Stanbridge on the A505, there's been an accident at Stanbridge Road involving 3 cars that's partially blocked it in both directions. In Woburn on the A5 northbound, there are delays because of a breakdown causing some slight queues northbound on the A5 at Woburn Road. And the A1 is slow southbound from the St Neots junction towards the Black Cat roundabout. On the motorways, the A1M is busy southbound past junction 8 for Hitchin to 7 for Stevenage, and the M25 is slow anti-clockwise between junction 17 for Maple Cross to 16 for the M40. Samantha Braff, BBC Three Counties.
Thank you, Samantha. Oh, Carol, jog on. Carol on Twitter. You wasted valuable time in a childish attempt to force cancer research lady into giving personal views on issues. Very poor of you. Oh, Carol, no, not at all. Not at all. What were you listening to? I was asking her a question. She was reading a press release, for crying out loud. Carol, you do make me laugh sometimes, and then sometimes you really annoy me. Oh dear, people on Twitter and Facebook, I think it's the great curse to the broadcasting industry, Twitter and Facebook, okay, because everyone has instant access. And then the news and here we go. News and radio and telly and papers. Oh, we need to flesh out this story a little bit. I know, let's go on Twitter and see what people think.
Let's quote some people who've given it 2 minutes thought. But sometimes those 2 minutes are well spent.
She's annoyed me. Boothby's annoyed me. They're all annoying me today.
Don't worry about
They're all annoying me today. I just think, oh, for goodness sake, you come and do it.
I know what'll make you feel better.
Yeah, go on.
Lock poker.
Hey, we'll have that after the Wes.
Beds, Hearts and Bucks weather.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Good morning. We've got some patchy cloud this morning. We've had 1 or 2 spots of rain further east you are, but for most of us now we're starting to see some brightness and some sunshine, and that's the story of the day. Patchy cloud, sunny spells. It's accompanied by quite a brisk northeasterly breeze though, so it's perhaps feeling a little bit cooler than it has done, 16 Celsius being the maximum. Now overnight tonight any cloud will disappear. We're still under high pressure. That cloud will melt away this evening. Then overnight lengthy clear spells. We're hanging on to the breeze, but it's still chilly, 7 or 8 Celsius the minimum. For tomorrow, plenty of sunny spells, but we'll feel slightly warmer because the wind is a little less tomorrow. Temperatures gradually sneaking up. For Wednesday, we're looking at 17 Celsius, and that's your forecast.
Every weekday morning.
Coming up at 9 on the Big Phone In this morning, is it a good idea to make jobless teenagers work for their benefits? How would you like this country to stand up to President Putin? Are you surprised to see British people being blatantly racist?
The JVS Show.
I think we've got to get over this issue about racism doesn't exist. It has existed. It will probably carry on existing.
What I wanted to say is they've got this completely the wrong way around. You know, that is also true. That is also true.
You will always get some, but they are such a minority.
I think the man's a buffoon. Get him up, get him out of bed, give him a sense of purpose.
The JVS Show.
Do you think we have got to, as a country, start taking this issue more seriously?
Every weekday morning on BBC Three Counties Radio. This is Iain Lee.
On BBC Three Counties Radio.
OK, so we've been playing Lock Poker. If you missed the first hour of the show, I thoroughly recommend you go back to about 30 minutes into it on the BBC iPlayer. It's us playing Lock Poker. I can't really remember what the rules were.
Yeah, the rule is you can justify anything with a good story.
Yes.
So it's terms with lock-in, but not things like clock.
So, no, not clock. Whoever came up with clock is not a player.
Some of the hits that we had in the first, and they really were hits.
Goldilocks, Gridlock.
Jawlock,
or Lockjaw is the word.
Dreadlock.
Caps lock.
Yeah, they were all mine.
No.
Lock of hair.
Automatic lock-in.
Let's go to... Oh, Kyle! Oh, it's your fancy man! Oh! Kyle and Kath sitting in a tree. Kissing.
Yeah, what of it?
Yeah, what... Kyle, are you there, mate, or have you dropped off again?
No, morning, boss.
Yeah, all right. I'll tell you what. I'll let you and your mank girlfriend get on with it. Me and Kels will keep out of this. The Cockneys are keeping quiet.
What have you got for me, Kyle?
Well, I've got one. And now
is it battered sausage?
Unbelievable.
Don't be crude.
Have you got battered sausage for me? Hey, Carl, it's Tuesday. You got battered sausage for me, love?
Listen.
Have you got battered sausage for me, love?
Don't be jealous.
I want your battered sausage.
What Kyle and I have is beautiful and pure.
I know, it's beautiful battered sausage.
There's no sausage involved.
Give me your Carl, give us your battered sausage, love. Go on, and I'll wash it for you. Through mango. Ignore him. He's just bitter because it's his birthday. No, I remembered. Right. All right. But battered sausage for birthday. Hey, don't worry, not got birthday kit, but I got battered sausage with candle on. That'll do. Right, Carl, give us your battered sausage for battered sausage pocket.
Yeah. Do you want battered sausage, Ian, for your birthday?
He'd love one. He would love one. Oh, yeah, hang on. Kyle, go on.
Right, OK, so the one that I had actually is centred around one of your presenters. Now, I'm not sure whether it meets the rules or not.
Well, the rules are very flimsy. And it's you, Kyle. So...
Well, I've got in my head, like, I'm in Batley.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Alan Bennett and Thora Heard. Yeah, and then one of your, I don't know, reporters is there.
Yeah.
And he says, oh, I'm having a lovely macaroon. Thanks, Thora. And it is, of course, Matt Lockwood.
Yes. The Lockwood.
Matt Lockwood.
Yeah.
I said that.
Oh,
so this isn't battered sausage. This has not got battered sausage. And this is battered barn cake. Take this back to shop, Carl, and get money back, or you're sleeping out in the doghouse tonight, lads.
Ian, leave this to me. Kyle. It's not me, it's you. We're done.
Right, I'm sorry.
Yeah, loser. He's a loser, baby. So we have cut him off. Daniel.
Hello.
Someone who speaks properly. Yes, Daniel.
think 1980s Cop Show, co-star.
1980s what show?
Cop Show.
Cop Show.
With a
Thank goodness for that. Yes.
Think soft focus lens.
Yeah, again, he said cop, didn't he?
Yes.
I did. Cop. C-O-P.
Thank you.
Heather Locklear.
Oh,
Goodbye. I mean, what is going on? I did Heather Locklear. That's the rumour I'm spreading around anyway. I'd really appreciate it if you could just pass that on. Guys, if you listen, if you by the way, everyone that got one wrong is banned for the rest of the week, okay? From listening. Graham's on the line. Morning, Graham.
Good morning. Happy birthday.
Thank you very much indeed, sir. It's been a tough crowd this morning. We are being vicious. So, are you confident that your lock has not been picked before?
As far as I'm aware.
We'll have no double locks on this show.
Away you go, Graham. What have you got?
Well, back in the 1950s,
Great story already. I'm loving it. Yeah.
they were trying to develop a way of stopping cars crashing, and they developed anti-lock brakes.
Oh, we haven't had that.
Yo! Legend, Graham.
It is not only correct, it is original, and it comes with a good story.
That is a unique lock, Graham. Graham, you've won 20 seconds of airtime. What do you want to do with it?
Well, the brakes were a British invention developed by Dunlop, and they were called Maxarat.
OK, you wanted to bore us. Thank you, Graham. I appreciate that.
Well, or stir up national pride.
No, you're right, Graham. Thank you very much. Excellent answer, and thank you for playing. Much appreciated. They're a British invention, are they? Oh, tomorrow, in the rabbit hole, guys. You know what that is? Well, tough. Between 6 and 7, we're celebrating Britain.
Yeah.
And we are going to list off the best British inventions.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're doing. We're playing British invention poker. Paul's on the line. Good morning, Paul.
No, good morning, Ian.
No, good morning to you, Paul.
Good morning to you.
No, Paul. You take it. Good morning to you.
All right, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Good morning, Paul.
Good morning.
Good morning, Paul.
Morning, all.
Good morning.
You can't remember your names.
Of course I can.
Go on then. What are they called? What are the girls called?
Catherine.
What's the other one called?
I'm not sure.
Oh, Paul, I like. By the way, if you go to @BBC3CR on Twitter or @Iain Lee, you can see Pete Heat. I'm just watching it now. The trick where he turned loads of lottery tickets into £20 notes. You can see he just did it then. It's amazing. It's up there on Twitter and it's incredible. Send that viral. Yes, Paul.
Well, anyway, the wife and I last year we were debating where to go on holiday. And the wife said she'd like to go to Scotland, and in particular, she wants to go cruising.
Be careful.
Bonny lakes of Loch Lomond.
Oh, he sang as well.
Paul, it was one of the first ones we did, mate.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I was on the Grand Union Canal last year as well, and there's a lot of locks on there.
Yeah, we've also done that one.
That was the second one we did, mate. This is just...
Yeah.
This is just car crash, Paul.
You realise I'm going to have to go into therapy now, don't you?
Yeah, and Paul, you're banned from listening for the rest of the week, I'm afraid, mate.
Oh, I'll suffer it.
Good luck, Paul. Good luck. It's tough times. Harriet!
Hi, Ian.
Are you sure you want to play this game? Because it's getting nasty.
I know it is. I think so. I mean, I asked you if you have had these because I only have about half an hour listening to you in the morning.
Mate.
The excuses ain't going to wash, Harriet. We love you and all that, but, you know, we've got to be tough.
Go on.
Okay. Fetlock.
Thanks for calling.
Oh, she makes me so angry.
Why?
She could have done so much better.
I wanted to hear what the rest were, but we can't. Well, let's give her one more chance.
Okay.
Harriet? She's gone.
No, she's gone and she knows.
Kelly cut her off. Good
no,
for
I
you.
didn't. She dropped
Good for you, Kelly. I like
Kelly
that.
completely
Harsh, but unfair, and I like that about you. Colin!
Colin, in Armington with the chocolate Labradors.
Sorry?
Colin with the dogs, remember?
Colin! Oh, Colin, how are the dogs doing? You all right?
Perfect. Catherine's going to be pregnant.
Catherine's going to be pregnant? What is that?
Yes, next week.
Is that is that a threat?
No, it's all booked in. Saturday, Sunday, she's going to be mated.
Catherine, did you know about this? You've been booked in
I've been
to be
booked in
mated?
without my consent. I'm not going to argue, but...
Who's she being mated with, Jake?
No, Drake.
Drake? The rap artist? Catherine's going to be impregnated by Drake, the rap artist?
Oh, I'm sure the payments will be healthy until the child is 18. OK, let's go for it.
All right, Catherine, well, congratulations in advance of your pre-impregnation.
Wow.
Fair enough.
Colin, are you sure you want to play Lock Poker? Because we have just banned 4 people from listening to the show for the rest of the week.
Fair enough.
It's a risky take, isn't it?
Just do a story first of all, because you use it at school, at the gym, and at work or at the airport. It's at Locker.
Thanks for calling, Colin. It's been great having you as a listener. We look forward to you listening again next Monday.
Why?
Because we did Locker.
Oh, yeah, we did
I
that.
put my scarf in there, remember?
Yeah, why are you wearing a scarf in there?
Can Simon Oxley play? On news.
Is he around? Has he sent this one down?
Yeah.
What's he sent?
Grand National Horse.
Oh.
Slipped and fell within sight of the finishing line back in 1956. Devon Lock.
Hey, and I remember that because Simon Oxley was 11 years old when that happened.
He was riding the horse.
That means he can read the news now.
From now on, he's got a nickname. He's not Simon Oxley, Simon Loxley, guys.
Simon Oxley.
We got Simon Loxley. You can read the news, Simon. Yes, well done. Well done. I didn't know he listened to the show. I've not said anything rude about him over the past 3 years, have I, on air? I just thought he did his bits and then went and listened to a decent radio show. I kind of.
He's a very intelligent man, I'm sure.
I know, that's why I'm surprised he listens to this rubbish.
I'll put you straight through. Stay
Butter sausage lock, says Adrian. No idea what that means.
Butter sausage? Gosh.
Carpet Martin, yes, Lockheed Martin. Well done.
Is that his dad?
That's an arms manufacturer. Shouty Chris, you're the last one on today's lock poker. We will, of course, be playing it tomorrow.
For the rest of your natural life.
What have you got for us, Shouty Chris?
Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea, 1960s, David Lockhart.
We certainly have not had that.
We've certainly not had Lockhart, no. Chris, you are the last player on today's, and a player's gonna play. You win the last 20 seconds of the show, Chris. Over to you.
Welcome to BBC Radio 3 Counties, and this is the Chris's 20 seconds of the show, and I'm listening all week, yeah!
Well, some might say that she wasted 8 of those 20 seconds, but you never know.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
In Stanbridge on the A505, that's been partially blocked in both directions at Stanbridge Road because of an accident, and that's involving 3 vehicles, causing some delays. Also, the A5 northbound is really busy, and there's been a breakdown at Woburn Road, adding to those queues. And the A1 southbound is looking very busy from the St Neots Junction towards the Black Cat roundabout. It's also queues on the M25 anti-clockwise between junction 17 for Maple Cross and 16 for the M40. No reports of any problems at the moment on the trains, though. Samantha Brough, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Sammy, thank you very much. Don't forget, if you want to see Pete Heat, at Pete Heat, the magician we had in, at BBC 3CR has tweeted the clip of him doing a brilliant trick. I'm just about to retweet it at Iain Lee. Thank you, Pete. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Shags. Catherine, we really got to try and schedule that meeting because this is just untenable. Back tomorrow at 6. Until then, from us, ta-ta.
Local and vocal across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
Thank you, Ian. Good morning. Welcome to the JVS show. I'm Jonathan Vernon Smith. It's Tuesday. It's 9 o'clock, and on today's big phone-in, is it stupid to let people drink when they're travelling by plane? Police were called to Luton Airport this weekend to meet a flight from Turkey, as the model, Kate Moss, had been disruptive during the flight. Eyewitnesses claim the model was denied alcohol during the flight and instead produced a bottle of her own vodka before calling the captain a basic B. B being the word for a female dog. Earlier this year, the body who represent UK Airlines called for tougher rules to govern those who want to drink whilst travelling by plane. And of the 114 cases of flight disruption recorded by the Civil Aviation Authority last year, the majority were alcohol-related. So this morning, I want your reaction to this, your views and your experiences and stories. Is it stupid to let people drink when they're travelling by plane? Pick up that phone, come on and have your say on 08459 455 555.
This is the JVS show
on BBC Three Counties Radio.
I'll take your call in just a second, but first, let's get the latest BBC News. It's 1 minute past 9. Here's Simon Oxley.
The headlines: murder investigation after fire in Milton Keynes, 8,000 jobs to go at HSBC, and homeless hostel closed down in Bletchley.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Police have launched a murder investigation following the death of a man in Milton Keynes. His body was discovered following a fire in Wolverton last night. A man has been arrested. More from Carol Abercrombie.
Police were called to a 4th-floor flat in Trevithick Court at around 11:40 last night. 30 firefighters were needed to tackle the blaze. A man believed to be aged in his 30s was found dead at the scene. Thames Valley Police say a 25-year-old man has been arrested on suspicion of murder and is currently in custody. Officers are making inquiries in the area this morning.
HSBC has announced plans to cut 8,000 jobs in the UK, a sixth of its staff. The posts will go in its retail and investment banking businesses. Another 17,000 jobs will go around the world as HSBC switches its focus to Asia. Dominic Hook from the Unite Union says loyal, hard-working staff will be losing